Are live at Collectco for tonight's live Facebook record sale. When you're on and watching, be sure to let us know. And we'll see who the first commentor is. Craig! Congratulations, Craig. You are tonight's nightly winner of $1 billion. Seth's over here mixing drinks, popping pills. You think we're at a pharmacy or a bar or something. Good gosh. All right, let's do... I gotta actually put in an order for something right quick. Y'all are wearing me out on these sound gardens. Plus, I'm gonna show them tonight. Hopefully, there's more available. Okay, there is. Good. Let me go ahead and put in another order of those. All right. So when you're on and watching, welcome. Make sure you share. We love sharing. And okay, how do you get to the cart? There we go. Go ahead and put this order in. So thank you and welcome. Sorry, I hadn't even got to start sharing yet. How about this? Everybody let me know where you're watching from. That'll kill some time. Always fun to see that. When you're on, let me know where you're watching from. All right, let's see here. Hello from Mississippi. Florence, Kentucky. Let's see who's the furthest away. Let's see who the furthest away is. Well, Craig's leading, Southern California. Southern California. Kyle's over at work. Pittsburgh. Kelly's up in Pittsburgh. I didn't know that, Kelly. Welcome from Pittsburgh. Alice is out in Redwood City, California. Now, is that Northern or Southern California? Just south of Seattle. Wow, Craig, you're up in Seattle. I didn't know that. Some of y'all don't know where you live. I tried my best not to, like stalk everybody, but sometimes I see the addresses when the packages are going out. Let's get this shared in the groups. Northern California. So Northern California would be further than Southern California. But right now we got a Seattle, so that's winning on furthest distance. That's winning on furthest distance for sure. Can anybody beat Seattle? John Leal's over at the Alamo. Don't forget the Alamo. Don't forget it. Or don't remember. Or remember. Don't forget it. What's the saying? Remember the Alamo. But you also don't want to forget it. Whiskey, Nashville. All right, I got it shared on all the Facebook. I didn't do a hype picture for tonight. Sorry, I'm all hopped up on caffeine. Let me do this, and let's do story. Remember the Alamo. There it is. Remember the Alamo. All right. Copy link. Let me get this shared. What's going to be our hot picture for tonight? Let's use this. I got a picture of my Pink Floyd doormat. If I showed these to y'all probably going to want to buy them, but we can't ship them because they're just so impossible to ship. But that's my Pink Floyd doormat. There you have it. They're $29.99. We have them in stock here, but we can't ship them because it's really hard to ship a doormat, especially for $7. But if anybody's interested in your local, you can come by and pick one up. We also have Yoda and NASCAR. We cover all the bases here. All right, let me get the chat pulled up. And how about we'll start with some auctions right off the bat. We won't even wait till after the first crate. We'll put up these auctions that I have right here. We're going to put this up for auction because it's one of these records from this Wisconsin collection that are just really, really nice. Really, really nice. Stevie Nicks, Belladonna. This is in shrink wrap with the original hype sticker. Includes Stop Dragging Around My Heart. Stop Dragging Around My Heart. This is a near mint copy of Stevie Nicks' Belladonna, original inner sleeve, covers and shrink wrap with hop sticker. We're going to open that up for auction. $20 start. $20 start. Do you have Yoda driving a NASCAR race car and the race car is painted with Dark Side of the Moon? That would be pretty cool. That would cover all the bases. Next auction. Second auction. Underneath the Colors. Here's one by NXS we don't get too often. That is the original inner sleeve. I don't think this one's in print. NXS Underneath the Colors. NXS Underneath the Colors. This is also a $25 start. We already have a $25 bid on Stevie. NXS is a $25 start. And next, we will put up the Cult Electric. Or I might wait a little bit longer on that one. There might be some people didn't know we had that. I'll wait till everybody's on. We might do that one closer to 8 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and start right off the bat with new vinyl. Tanner, I hadn't printed the sheet. It's on my laptop. Or have I? I don't think I have. I was going to let you format it. I didn't. My bad. Let me grab tonight's. I did not. I did. Okay. Whichever. Let me grab my drink and then we'll get started. We got 6 crates of vintage, a crate and a half of new vinyl, 6 crates of vintage, crate and a half of new vinyl, Japanese auctions. We plan on going through everything one time without pause. Then we'll see what's going on at the end. I didn't make my flip crate like I did last night. I wanted to see what was left from tonight. Let's have at it. Tonight's new vinyl. 712, starting at a pretty good time. We got 2 great auctions up, Stevie Nicks and NXS. One that's a top copy, one we don't get too often. I'm glad I was able to get more of these because this is a really good sounding, affordable, nice copy of what, if you want a true first press of this album, is north of 1,000. Some of them sell for 2,000. This is the Velvet Underground and Nico, $36.99. One of the most important albums in rock history. This is an Abbey Road half-speed master, and of course, the iconic, famous Andy Warhol banana cover. You can actually peel it off, just like the original. Really well done at Abbey Road Studios. Gatefold, $36.99. I've got 3 of them. 2 are already sold, Jeff McIntosh and Nick Pullen. This is something you got to listen to at least one time in your life. Of course, that's Lou Reed. You've probably heard of him. If you don't know much about the Velvet Underground, that's let's just say they're kind of important. Next is a new release from last week, and I just now got them in. Check out that cover. Disney 100, 2 LP on silver-colored vinyl. These are also $36.99. It's a compilation of music from Disney celebrating 100 years. 100 years. That is $36.99. $36.99. Disney 100, 2 LP, silver-colored vinyl. John Young also gets a Velvet Underground. Sarah Morgan, I'm going to put you on a waiting list. I think I'm going to go ahead and just order like 20 copies of this, because if they ever quit doing this, I'm going to be sad, because there's a lot of, be aware, there's a lot of pressings of this album out there, new and vintage, that are not the best quality. From what I'm reading, this is a really good sounding record. I haven't got to listen to one myself. If I get a bunch more in, I'm going to keep one. I don't have a first press of this album. I've sold several first press or older presses. I have an older German copy from the 70s, and then I have that Japanese copy that we resold like 12 different times. I end up keeping that. But from what I'm seeing, this is very good. I'm sold out tonight, but you might want to get on that waiting list. John Young got that one. So we'll put Sarah Morgan on a waiting list. And then the first 2 to claim the Disney was Tony Murphy and Tracy Miller. And it doesn't look like I have enough of those either. This was something that I had on my pre-order list, and I didn't quite get to it because I couldn't find a good image. I had a feeling the cover looked like this, but I was wanting to see it before I posted it, and looks like it's very, very well made as well. That's $36.99. We're going to give those to Tony and Tracy, and then we're going to have some waiting list. Dan Triaga on Disney waiting list. Eddie Pasir also on that Velvet Underground waiting list. Jerry Stone on the Disney waiting list. And Greg Stone, both of the Stones on the waiting list. So is Stacey Brown and Troy Robinson and Terrell Boatnight. Go ahead. This is Tuesday. So if these are in stock, which if I only order a couple of something, that means I have a feeling I'll be able to get more. Well, that's a wild cover. I mean, it's amazing. It's like and you can see it for yourself. We'll have those in. This is Tuesday, so we'll have those where they'll be on this week's waiting list. So that's Terrell, Stacy, Troy, and Jason Fortenrad also on that Disney waiting list. Our first two auctions of the night are already rolling. We have NXS Underneath the Colors. NXS Underneath the Colors, that's an OG, near mint, high bid. John Leal 29, Sarah Morgan 30. Sarah Morgan's at 30 on that. Paul Brothers at 33. Jonathan Berg also on that Disney waiting list. And then we had Stevie Nicks, Belladonna, near mint copy, shrink wrap, and hop sticker, Stop Dragging Around My Heart, which is, of course, the duet with Tom Petty. This is a top copy, and the high bid on this was with Paul Gill for 30. And John Leal's back in on NXS is 35. 35. Can I get next week? I already have. Put down Greg Stone for Disney for the next week. And 35 on NXS. First two records were a hit. I don't know what's next. This is a restock from last week. Sly Stone, Family Soul Sessions, the rare 45 RPMs, 63 to 66. This is on silver and purple splatter vinyl. That is $31.99. Sly and the Family Stone, or Sly Stone, Family Soul Sessions, $31.99. That's on silver splatter vinyl. Got Daft Punk, Random Access Memories. This is the new 10th Anniversary Expanded Edition. 9 unreleased outtakes on 3LP, and it has the poster. Daft Punk is $59.99. And from what I understand, that's their most popular album. Sly and the Family Stone's Greatest Hits. I consider this almost an essential. Love this. $29.99. Paul Brothers also on the Velvet Underground waiting list. Yes. If we don't have you on there right now, Tanner's putting you. If we didn't have you on there, we're putting you on there now. Jason Kenton, first on Daft Punk. That's so to Jason Kenton. Stevie Nicks is at 35. NXS is at 38. So we got Sly and Sly. Nina Simone, Great Women of Song. Nina Simone, $33.99. This actually came out last week. I had a short waiting list for that. Nina Simone, George Delisle. You was on a waiting list for that. I have one extra to sell if anybody wants that. That's Great Women of Song by Verve, $33.99. Put Austin Cauldron down for the Daft Punk waiting list. NXS is at $39. This was new from last week, and I'm just now getting them in, so first time showing it. Funkadelic's Greatest Hits. Funkadelic's Greatest Hits. I've got 3 of those for $29.99. $29.99. There was a waiting list for Daft Punk. I was on it. I thought you wanted off of the Daft Punk waiting list, Jerry. I thought we put you down that night and then you wanted off of it, so I don't think we had you down for one. But if you do for sure want one, I can get you down. Brittany Bragg also on the Velvet Underground waiting list. And we're definitely going to have a waiting list for Funkadelic. I've got 3 of these sold to Troy Robinson, Michael Potts, and Rob Scheffler. All 3 of those are sold. That is Troy Robinson, Michael Potts, and Rob Scheffler. Brittany Bragg on the Velvet Underground waiting list. And if anybody wants on that Funkadelic, I'll have more of those in by Thursday. What is this, Tuesday? Yeah, I'll be showing those again probably on Thursday or Friday. NXS is at 45. How many people we have on the Velvet Underground wait list now? A bunch. I think we're getting over 10 or 15 names, which is great. So Funkadelic stopped at Rob Scheffler. That means Fred Carnell, Jason Kenton on that waiting list, along with David Schroeder. And then 2 people on Daft Punk. That's Jerry Stone, Daft Punk for Jerry Stone, and Austin Cauldron. That was Random Access Memories 10th Anniversary. And then Michael Potts on Velvet Underground. All right, let me show one more. And then I'm going to get everybody updated on our auctions. Grace Jones. I saw this in stock. This comes from the same label that did the Lion King, so it's an import, but there's no other version in stock, and it's such a challenge to find these. $44.99 for Grace Jones Night Clubbing. Grace Jones Night Clubbing. That's an import. I have one of them. $44.99 for Grace Jones Night Clubbing. And another Sly. This is, there's a riot going on. Sly and the Family Stone. That's on red vinyl. Sly and the Family Stone, that is $31.99. So I've got 3 Sly and the Family Stone albums. Greatest Hits. Family Soul Session, there's a riot going on. Nina Simone, Grace Jones, And now, update on our auctions. In excess, underneath the colors, near mint copy. Haven't had that in a while. Aaron Jolly just bid $52. $52. Todd Tipton also wants on that Daft Punk Random Access Memories list, and Patrick Hummer on the Velvet Underground waiting list. So in excess is at 52. We've got Stevie Nicks. The last bid I seen on this was 35 with Kevin Scott. That's in shrink wrap with the hype sticker. 35 is the final call on that. Yes, if you're getting on a waiting list tonight, they'll be in, and we'll have them on this week's ticket, this week's invoice. Restock, haven't had this in a while. Radiohead Pablo Honey. Radiohead Pablo Honey, $42.99. These Radioheads, when I order them, they say they're out of stock, but then a couple days later, they come in. They must do special orders on those. Police Greatest Hits is $49.99. Police Greatest Hits is $49.99. Eric Fisher wants a Pablo. That's not Pablo Cruz. That's Pablo Honey. Paul Gill is back in on Stevie Nicks at 36. And Sarah Morgan's back in on NXS at 54. Black Sabbath, Master of Reality. This is the 2012 remaster, which is a really good sounding record. Black Sabbath, Master of Reality, $29.99. That's a U.S. pressing, finally back in stock. Todd Tipton said sold on the Police Greatest Hits. I think that's right over here. It is. Put Todd Tipton down on that. Todd Tipton says, I'll take the Police. Greg Rogers gets a Radiohead Pablo Honey. That is $42.99. If anybody else wants one of those, let me know. Greg Rogers on Radiohead. Todd Tipton on a Black Sabbath. John Ambrosic on a Black Sabbath. Those are both sold. And Sarah, Radiohead is $42.99. Let me know if you're in or out on Stevie Nicks. Mr. Who is at 35? Kevin Scott, let me know if you're in or out on Stevie Nicks, because the high bid's now 36. And Sarah and Aaron Jolly, let me know if you're in or out on NXS. NXS is now at 54 with Sarah. The Cult album will be auctioned in just a second. We'll be putting that up next. Okay, I skipped over this 10-inch. AFI, All Hallows EP. AFI is $16.99. All Hallows EP. AFI, there was a waiting list. Susie Breedlove. Miss Susie Breedlove. I had you on a waiting list for that. I've got one left if anybody wants it. That's AFI All Hallows Eve. One of those are available. $16.99. Paul Brothers wants on the Radiohead waiting list. Pablo Honey. And John Ambrosic is going to get the AFI. What songs are on the Funkadelic Greatest Hits? If Craig can't copy and paste that for us, Mr. Craig, I will read those off. I think two people have asked the track list on that. So Paul's out on Stevie Nicks, so that's at $38. And Sarah, you're back out on NXS. Aaron's at $56. All right. One copy of Black Sabbath left. That's a great album, of course. Speaking of the Cult, here's Sonic Temple, $39.99. This is a 30th anniversary. The Cult Sonic Temple, $39.99. I've got one of those. The Cult Sonic Temple, $39.99. And another Black Sabbath. This is on red vinyl, by the way. I know the hype sticker doesn't say it, but this is supposed to be on red vinyl. It says red vinyl. Well, now I'm kind of curious. I wish I could. I might have to. It's supposed to be red vinyl. It says black vinyl. That's unfortunate. The catalog on that said red vinyl, but it's black vinyl. I think red vinyl is only a Walmart exclusive, or maybe green. So that's why I ordered those. But We Sold Our Soul for Rock and Roll is a 2LP Black Sabbath compilation. That is $44.99. Yeah, Tanner says it's still good stuff regardless. I couldn't say that better myself. Black Sabbath, The Wizard, Warning, Paranoid, War Pigs, Iron Maiden. This is like Black Sabbath Essentials, which is an exact reissue of an album that came out. That is $44.99. Okay. David Bowie, Space Oddity, $31.99. David Bowie, Space Oddity, $31.99. Excuse me, also known as the Man of Words, or the Man of something like that. Got a George Michael unofficial. George Michael, Rock in Rio 2, Brazilian broadcast. I had a waiting list for this. George Michael, Carlene, of course, our number one George Michael, and Wham, Carlene, I've already got you down for one. If anybody else wants that, that is an unofficial, but that is from 1991. It is $38.99. All right, Aaron's out on NXS. Sarah has NXS for $57. Final call. Kevin's at $38 on Stevie Nicks. Final call. Everybody's out. I'm about to sell those. Austin Cauldron wants David Bowie. Now, Austin, Doug, our logistics manager here, he said your last name is pronounced Calderon. I think I've been saying Cauldron. But if you're good with either one, I'll keep saying Cauldron. Troy Robinson wants the George Michael. And Paul Gill says, can I bid 40 on Stevie? That's up to you. If you're bidding, I've got to hold the auction. That's up to you. But we are on a final call. Final call. Chad, I'll trade you a first press Velvet Underground for the Bowie you bought last night. Whew. Now, are you talking about a true first pressing? Like unedited torso cover? Mono? We might can have a discussion. Breaking Benjamin, Aurora, $26.99. Breaking Benjamin, Aurora, featuring the new song Far Away and 9 reimagined hits. That is Breaking Benjamin, $26.99. Go to V1. Paul is saying it right, though. Okay. That's the logistics man. Austin Calderon. Okay. Doug knows his stuff then. So we have a new bid on Stevie Nicks at 40, but I am selling NXS right now to Sarah Morgan for $57. $57 on NXS to Sarah Morgan. John Ambrosic wants Breaking Benjamin. He said, just take my bids and ship my records. Just take your money and send you records. That's what we're professionals at doing. No claims on Black Sabbath. I want to make sure that the other bidder knows that there is a new bid on Stevie Nicks. Now, Kevin Scott, you're back out. Paul's at 40. Kevin's back in at 41. This is a top copy. The Smiths, $42.99. Self-titled. I think y'all know what those bring when we have OG copies. They're not cheap, especially the real OGs. That's $42.99. That's technically an import. And Bad Company. This is not an easy album of theirs to get an OG of. This is a red or blue vinyl. I think it's blue vinyl from Friday Music. It's called Holy Water. And we did have a waiting list for this. Debbie Blair. Debbie Blair, you was on a waiting list for Bad Company, Holy Water. I got one Smith sold, and let's take a waiting list. If anybody else wants one of these, we can have them in this week. So just let me know. It's just like you're buying it right now, the Smiths, and I'll have it in on this week's ticket. Kelly Gabney gets that one. James Bragg on the waiting list. Kevin Scott wants a Bad Company Holy Water. We have Paul Gill officially out on the Stevie Nicks, and that means Kevin Scott has it for 41. Final call. Then I'm going to start 2 new auctions. Cash. This is Johnny Cash, American, Volume 4. The Man Comes Around. That is $49.99. $49.99, Johnny Cash, The Man Comes Around, which also has the song Hurt on it. That is $49.99. John Burlingame, Bad Company is $44.99. That's a Friday Music release. And John, if you don't want it, Sherry Darnell does. Colin Butler, the new Funkadelic that came out last week that I showed tonight for the first time was Funkadelic's Greatest Hits. Funkadelic's Greatest Hits. I can show that again because we have quite a waiting list on it. Monica wants on the waiting list for George Michael. There was somebody else too. It was Monica. Monica Malley on that George Michael Live in Rio waiting list. And it looks like we need to sell some. We need to get several more Bad Company Holy Waters. We'll make sure that John Burlingame doesn't want that one. If he does, it's his. And that means Sherry Darnell on the waiting list and Randy Tabrin. Okay, so 2 people on the waiting list. Actually, just 1, because John Burlingame said Sherry can have it. So Sherry gets this one, and that means Randy Tabrin on the waiting list. This here? Okay, you had it. Yeah. Yeah, I had 2 of them. Johnny Cash is sold to Alice Lowry. I've got 1 of those left. And Ken Crooker wants the last Black Sabbath Master of Reality. Let's go ahead and end Stevie Nicks too before I show the last of what's in this bin. Stevie Nicks is sold to Kevin Scott for $41. That was a top copy, shrink wrap and hop sticker. Matthew Christ wants AFI. I only had 1 of those, the All Hallows EVP, but I can definitely put you down on a waiting list, Matthew, and have you 1 of those in. Let's start 2 new auctions. The bins tonight are incredible. I mean, I think I've said that for the last 7 shows in a row, but I think y'all would agree with me. I think we've got 5 or 6 Rush albums in the bins. I'm going to pull a couple out. Just because we always have to auction this first one because we just never see it. The first bin I'm probably going to go through is the check condition stuff. It is really, really loaded, but here's our next auction. This is a 1976 Santa Maria press of Rush, self-titled. So 76, this album originally came out in 74. This is a 76 Santa Maria press. VG cover and VG vinyl, so overall a VG copy. Just something we don't get into often though, any kind of vintage copy of that. $45 start. $45 start on Rush. Cash is $49.99. I've got 2 left. I've got one in the bin, and I've got this one right here. Next is Operation Ivy, $29.99. That is called Energy. Operation Ivy Energy is $29.99. I've got 2 of those. And the Madcap Laughs, Sid Barrett. That is $36.99. The Madcap Laughs, Sid Barrett, $36.99. Can I get a copy of the Funkadelic again? Colin just reminded me. He wants Ivy, and he wanted to see that Funkadelic again. And Colin Butler also wants Sid Barrett. Let's go ahead and run the Colt Electric. I pulled this out of one of the bins. The Colt Electric. We just, I can't explain the demand. When I first started having Facebook Live sales, there's a lot of artists I learned a lot about, and one of them was the Colt. This is a really nice copy. As you can see, the vinyl is near mint minus. Original inner sleeve. Nice cover, gatefold. It is an OG. $55 start. $55 start on the Colt Electric. Really nice copy. Rush is a 1976. Of course, the true OG pressings are from Canada, and those are very rare on Moon. But this is probably a U.S. repress. There's Funkadelic. If anybody wants on this, we got quite a waiting list on this. Funkadelic's Greatest Hits, $29.99. That's new from last week. So if anybody wants that, just comment like you're buying it now. We will have those in. Funkadelic's Greatest Hits. Okay, back up to the top. So Colin got Ivy and Sid Barrett. Fred Carnell wants an Operation Ivy. Put down Patrick Hummer for a Sid Barrett waiting list. We had a $55 bid on the Colt. Also Chuck Wilson on the Operation Ivy waiting list. Colts at 65, Colt 70, Colt 75. Next LP is Paul Simon Graceland. That's pressed at RTI. I was hoping it was. I was trying to figure out what version this was. When I unboxed it, I was kind of excited to see that sticker. Great sounding record from what I read. $34.99. Of course, it has You Can Call Me Al on it. $34.99. Do I get a Funkadelic? Need to be on the wait list. Rob, that was your Funkadelic. That was yours. You got one. Paul Simon's $34.99. And Alice in Chains Freak Show. This is a live unofficial from 1990 and 1992. That's on red vinyl, $39.99. You need this back, don't you? There's Funkadelic. That's sold. That was Rob Scheffler's copy. If anybody wants on that waiting list, let me know. Colt 75. The new Rushes are, I'll show those in just a second. Colt 80. Chris Farrar wants the Paul Simon. I only have one of those. If anybody else wants one, let me know. Colt 83, 88. And we're looking for a $45 start on Rush. As I expected, very popular new vinyl. Most of it's gone. We'll go through it one more time, though. Then I'll go through the first bin. Austin Calderon wants a Freak Show. That's sold to Austin. And there was a waiting list for that. Autumn Betts. Autumn Betts. Are you going to get any of the new King? I haven't ordered a King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard in a long time because they put out so much stuff. At one time, like 2 years ago, our bins had that much King Gizzard stuff, and it was all from like 3 months of new releases. So if there's anything you want specifically, let me know. I guess I could post pre-order so I know exactly how many to get. Speaking of pre-orders, I'm going to go off the feed for 1 second and show y'all about our group, because we got some great stuff in our group. Here's our group, Whole Lot of Records, which just hit 5,000 members, by the way. I posted the new Extreme. I posted one of the new Overkills that's coming out, WFO. And, I don't have it pinned. The other big one for this week was, they'll be here tomorrow or Thursday. I've went ahead and posted a pre-sale on this right here. Soundgarden's Greatest Hits. It's called A-Sides. Those are back in stock. I did a pre-order alert. I only ordered 20. I've already sold 22, so I just ordered 20 more. So I've got 40 copies on the way, so I've got 18 left. That's amazing. I own one of those myself. It's been a long time since those have come in. That's, it's got all the great stuff on it. Outshined, Rusty Cage, The Day I Tried to Live, Black Hole Sun, Bird in My Hand, Bleed Together. All those great Soundgardens, they're on there in that one comp. Colt is at 99. Rush is at 45. There's the link to our group. Go check out those pre-orders. Here's what's left in this bin. Sly Stone, Family Soul Sessions, the Rare 45, 63 to 66, $31.99. $31.99. Sly and the Family Stone's Greatest Hits. Everyday People, Dance to the Music, Sing a Simple Song. Thank You for Being My Friend. I Want to Take You Higher. Hot Fun in the Summertime. That is $29.99. Put down UJ Miller for the Soundgarden list. Does Graceland have a poster? That I do not know, Paul. I do not know about the poster. Steve Henry wants on the Sid Barrett waiting list. And how about Snot? Come get some music on vinyl. I will post that. I think I saw that. In a solicitation email. New Fishbone No FX EP coming out next year. Let's write that down. And Snot, I will check on those. Eric Backrat, let me know which Sly and the Family Stone you want. I actually got 3. Or you can buy all 3. There's a riot going on red vinyl, Greatest Hits, or the new release from last week, Family Soul Sessions. Eric Backrack, let me know which one you want on that. When you do Sly Family Soul, maybe that's the one. Family Sessions. No, he put Greatest. Sly and the Family Stone Greatest Hits. That's sold to Eric. Colin Butler wants riot going on. I think, can you scroll up and see who had the bid on Rush? Was it Chris Ferrara? Who had the $45 bid on that? The Soundgarden is $38.99 if anybody wants us to take down your name right now for A-Sides. Chris Ferrara has Rush. This is a VG copy. I can't say copy tonight. VG has mastered disc in the Dead Wax GK. That's at $45. VG, it's a 1976 final call. And then the last bid I seen on the Colt was who and what price, Tanner? The Colt. Was that John Leal? I had to refresh my feed. John Leal or James Bragg? Who has the high bid on this? 99 James Bragg. That's what Tanner's showing. So if you need to bid higher, if anybody wants in, near mint copy of this. Very, very nice. Okay, so Sly's left. Nina Simone is $33.99. Grace Jones is $44.99, not clubbing. The Cult, Sonic Temple, $39.99. And we sold our soul for rock and roll, Black Sabbath, $44.99. Cash, $49.99. That has Hurt and The Man Comes Around on it. 2LP American Recordings. All right. So let's go through our first crate of new vintage stuff. I do have another half crate of new vinyl. I don't think it'll be as good as that one. That one had some really good stuff in it. Glad we got some of that in. And if anybody wants on that Soundgarden list, that's a big release. What's on the songs for Nina Simone, and Chris Kirkley wants it. Chris was actually first claiming that. Is he okay, Seth? Seth looks dizzy almost. Was it too much caffeine for you? Great Women of Song, Nina Simone. Feeling Good, I Put a Spell on You, Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood. Me Quita Pos, Tell Me More and More, Then Some, Lilac Line, Take Care of Business, Sea Line Woman, Four Women, Wild as the Wind, I Love You Porgy, and Mississippi Golden. If anybody wants a copy of that, let me know. That one sold to Chris Kirkley. And Rebecca, if you want one, just let me know. Just let me know. Are they available? Yes, I posted pre-orders for all the Oingo Boingo. They're all in our group. All right, new vintage arrivals. These are all check condition. Pay very close attention. We're going to get very focused on this crate. Just like you're taking the ACT or something. Okay, just like clear your mind, have your fingers ready. I'm going to tell you the price and the condition. And then it's first come, first serve. Staple Singers, Be What You Are. That's a VG Plus $14.99. Staple Singers, Be What You Are. and that's on the famous Stax label. VG Plus $14.99. Sugarloaf, this is the one everybody's been asking for. EX $24.99. Green-eyed lady, lovely lady. EX $24.99 for Sugarloaf, and Gordon Lightfoot Don Quixote. VG Plus $14.99. This is a German pressing. Has some tape here on the cover. Kind of hard to see, but someone took a piece of transparent tape across the cover. Of course, it is laminate because it's a German. That's a VG Plus $14.99. Put down Rebecca for Nina Simone waiting list. Tommy Flowers on Staple Singers. That's Chasin' Hart. He was first to claim that. John Leal first on Sugarloaf. And Colin Butler was second on Sugarloaf. Next, I was about to sell Rush. We have a question, and that is what pressing? It's a 1976 Michael Laurie. This is Chris Ferrara's for 40. It's VG vinyl, VG cover. I've actually got to sell that, but since you asked, if you want it, you can bid. If not, say out, and I'm going to sell it unless somebody else bids. And then the Cult is Final Call to James Bragg for $99. I think that's what we said. Okay, Frank Sinatra, where are you? Frank Sinatra is VG Plus, $9.99. Steve Miller Band's Greatest Hits, EX $32.99. EX $32.99. EX $32.99. Rush Power Windows, VG Plus $29.99. VG Plus $29.99 for Power Windows. VG Plus $29.99. An OG copy. Jim Croce, The Faces I've Been. Classic Jim Croce. EX $22.99. That's got a lot of rare. I like this right here. Mississippi Lady and then the Chain Gang medley. Great stuff right there. Some deep cuts on that. EX $32.99. Paul Gill wants on the Graceland waiting list. Rush is at $45. I've got to sell it though. You've got moments to bid. Eric Backrack first on Sinatra. Marty Ellis on Steve Miller Band. David Tate first on Rush. And Stephanie Harder second. Paul Gill first on Jim Croce. We can sell the Cult. I think I've extended these as long as possible. The Cult is sold to James Bragg for $99. And I'm selling Rush to Chris in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sell that to Chris Ferrara. No more bids. Only bid $45 Chris Ferrara. Mr. Lightfoot, only record left behind so far in this crate. American Graffiti Volume 3. Not Volume 1, not Volume 2, Volume 3. EX $22.99. EX $22.99. American Graffiti Volume 3. Robin Trower, Bridge of Sighs. EX $22.99. Soundgarden will be in this week and on this week's invoice. That's a restock alert. Green Chrysalis label, OG on Robin Trower. Great song, great album. Dr. No, the first Bond movie, the original soundtrack. VG copy, $9.99. If anything, it's collectible for the Sean Connery cover. Wouldn't it be nice if his signature was across the front of that? That would be something special. VG, $9.99. And Johnny Cash at San Quentin. EX, $22.99. Original label, Johnny Cash at San Quentin. EX, $22.99. We have American Graffiti going to Shelley Campbell. Colin Butler on No. That's Dr. No. Steve Henry on Robin Trower. David Tate, you were second on Dr. No. And Aaron Jolly first on Cash. The Soundgarden, we're doing the A-sides. The A-sides, which is their greatest hits. It's back in stock. We'll have that this week. Let me see what I've got over here, and this being possibly to auction. How about some Parliament? I wasn't going to, but we need to because we don't have any auctions. And here's a Bob Seger we don't get into often called Mongrel. Let's put a couple of these we don't get in as often up for auction. We have Parliament, Chocolate City, 1975 PRC press. Very nice. Look at the cover. Just a little bit of a crease here. Very nice. And then, of course, the vinyl is the big surprise. Near mint. I mean, just very, very nice. Has some sleeve scuffs right here. That's about the only thing I was seeing on this. I was really surprised to see this was this nice. Parliament's a $45 start. Chocolate City. $45 start on that. And then here's a Bob Seger. This is a 77 reissue. Mongrel. $25 start. The vinyl is very, very nice. The cover shows some ring wear, a little bit of cover wear here. This is the Seeger we don't get too often, Mongrel. That's a $25 start. $45 on Parliament. Seeger is $25. Austin, you were second on Johnny Cash earlier, by the way. Tina Turner, Private Dancer. VG Plus, $17.99. Tina Turner, Private Dancer. I Walk the Line in shrink wrap. A VG copy, $9.99. Original label, VG, $9.99. Frank Sinatra, The Nearness of You, VG Plus, $9.99. CCR Pendulum, EX, $32.99. CCR Pendulum, EX, $32.99. And in shrink wrap, Creedence Clearwater Revival, self-titled, also EX, $32.99. EX, $32.99. Back up to the top, James Bragg bid $47 on Parliament. David Tate first on Johnny Cash. UJ Miller second on Johnny Cash. Jesse third. Kelly fourth. Gary fifth. Miguel sixth. Sean seventh. Anthony Smith first to Frank Sinatra. Doc bid first on Parliament. John Young wants CCR. I have a feeling he'll want this one, but let me know which one for sure, John. Pendulum or self-titled. That's sold to John Young if he wants that one. There's the tracks for Parliament. High bids at $50. No bid yet on Seeger at $25. Rumors, Fleetwood Mac. This is VG $14.99. VG $14.99. Fleetwood Mac Rumors. Original label. That is sold to John Young. Self-titled. The Classic Performances of 10 Years After. VG Plus $14.99. The Classic Performances of 10 Years After. VG Plus $14.99. Ray Charles, Ain't It So. Ray Charles is EX $17.99. Ray Charles, Ain't It So. EX $17.99. The Rolling Stones, Suckin' in the 70s. This is a 70s compilation. VG $14.99. Kirk Fields first to Fleetwood Mac. Sarah Morgan first on Ray Charles. And Sarah Long first on the Rolling Stones. Brent bid $50 on Parliament. We already have a $50 bid with Doc Smith. We already have a $50 bid with Doc Smith. Kevin Willis, you were second on Ray Charles. Brent's back in at $55. 10 Years After still available. Final call if you want to get in a bid on Seeger before I make it a buy it now. Madonna, True Blue. That's a VG copy, $12.99. We're in our first crate of vintage of the night. First crate of vintage, all check condition. Bachman Turner Overdrive, Not Fragile. This is VG Plus, $9.99. Great stuff on here. Has You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet, Roll On Down the Highway. That's a VG Plus, $9.99. Not Fragile. Gatefold cover. And the Scorpions Blackout, VG Plus, just $29.99. The Scorpions Blackout, VG Plus, $29.99. That was one I was gonna auction. We have a lot to go through tonight, though. Parliament, $55.55. We had two people bid $55. Brent was first. Then Paul Gill bid $25 on Seeger. James Bragg bid $65 on Parliament. John Lill was first on Madonna, but he's going to pass, so that means it goes to Sean Fairweather. Looks like Sarah Morgan was second on Madonna, or, well, technically third. Doc is at 60 on Parliament. We already have 65. Sarah Morgan, yeah, third on Madonna. Kelly, first on BTO. Kelly Bagwell, first on BTO. Gary, you were second, and Ron Duffield wants the Scorpions. And Tanner, that was $29.99 on the Scorpions. Decided not to auction that one. Final call on Bob Seeger for $25. Final call on Parliament, or first call on Parliament. James Bragg's back in at $85. Simple Minds is EX $19.99. Simple Minds is Street Fighting Years. I don't think I've ever had that one. Simple Minds, EX $19.99. Patti Smith Group, Wave, EX $29.99. Patti Smith Group, Wave, EX $29.99. Simple Minds and Patti Smith. And back-to-back Patti Smith, Easter. Easter is a VG copy, $14.99. Patti Smith. And 10,000 Maniacs, Blind Man Zoo. VG copy, $14.99. James, you're the high bidder on Parliament at $85. Doc and Brent are both out. Final call. When I sell that, I'm also going to sell Bob Seeger. First to Simple Minds was Steve Henry. Gary, you were second. Gary Francisco second. Sarah Morgan first to 10,000 Maniacs. Jason Fornerat second, Joe Maynard third. Bad Company Straight Shooter, an EX copy, $22.99. EX $22.99. Yeah, this is from the Wisconsin. See how he made notes on it. Music, sounds great. Record, near mint minus. Sound, near mint. We went ahead and graded it EX. But some of these records, we try pulling all of them off, but we left some of them on there. They're harmless sticky notes, as you can tell. They'll peel right off. But that was the original owner of this collection. He took sound quality and jacket notes on all these. Lots of people on Bad Company. It looks like Wayne Carr was first. Wayne Carr is first. Marty Ellis second. Stephanie third. John Lill fourth. Gary fifth. Heather sixth. These auctions are done. Parliament is sold to James Bragg for $85, and only one bidder on the Seeger for $25, and that was with Paul Gill. $85 and $25. Those are sold. I don't have anything ready right now. I do have new Japanese stuff, but let me take a peek in here. Let me see what pressing this Jeff Beck. This stuff that we've got in shrink wrap, I would normally, any other copy of this, I would just leave in the bin. But when we have a near mint copy in shrink wrap, original Columbia Epic inner sleeve, orange label, and it looks like it's unplayed, I have a feeling there just may be some of y'all that just want a perfect, pristine copy. They're worth putting up for auction. Jeff Beck wired, that is the definition. It looks like somebody opened it. He might have even bought it might have just been opened originally, or he might have just recently opened this sealed copy. That's a $20 start. Jeff Beck wired, shrink wrap, orange Epic label. That is up for bid. And the very popular Eddie and the Cruiser soundtrack. Eddie and the Cruiser soundtrack. This is also a $20 start. Generic inner sleeve. I don't know if this one came with a custom inner sleeve. The vinyl, though, near mint. Eddie and the Cruiser soundtrack. That's also a $20 start. $20 and $20 starts on those. Back to the check condition bin. We have Brian Ferry, VG Plus $14.99. Brian Ferry, VG Plus $14.99. What is this one called? Another Time, Another Place. Beck is at $20, now $25. Rick Springfield, Living in Oz, $14.99 for Rick Springfield, Living in Oz. ELO, Out of the Blue, VG Plus $24.99. ELO, Out of the Blue, VG Plus $24.99. The Beach Boys today, VG vinyl, but the cover is in shrink wrap. Mono cover, mono vinyl, VG $9.99. The Beach Boys today, nice cover in shrink wrap. That's sold to John Young. Jeff Beck's at $25, now $30. Rebecca, if you want to bid on Eddie, just put Eddie and then $20 to get that one started. ELO. Elvis Gold Records Volume 4 in shrink wrap with an original Gimbals price tag. That is VG Plus $14.99. VG Plus $14.99. Orange RCA label. Rebecca's at $20 on Eddie and the Cruisers. John Ambrosic, you were second to the Beach Boys. The Greatest Hits from England. I have this in my collection. Great compilation. VG Plus $9.99. When I saw the zombies on here, I knew I had to keep it. But it has also Them, and It's Not Unusual by Tom Jones, The Moody Blues, Unit 4+2. That's a cool compilation. In shrink wrap, VG Plus on that. Sarah Morgan was first to Elvis. Sarah Morgan first to Elvis. Brooke, you were second. Debbie Blair first to the Hits comp. Josh Ragland second. Jeff Helton third. Sarah fourth. Ivan fifth. Heather sixth. Lots of people on that one. Jeff Beck, Final Call. Darren Myers at $30. Gary Francisco, let me know if you're in or out. And Eddie and the Cruisers is at $22 with Michael Word. Just came in. Now $25. So multiple bidders on both auctions. Nobody has said out yet. Jefferson Starship Gold. That's a VG Plus $12.99. Jefferson Starship Gold. Here's Loretta singing Wings Upon Your Horns. This is EX $12.99. Decca EX in shrink wrap $12.99. $12.99. Gary's out on Beck, so Final Call on the Beck album for $30. Vanilla Fudge, The Beat Goes On. VG Plus $14.99. Original label, VG Plus $14.99. And Bookends, Simon and Garfunkel. Bookends is $12.99. Bookends, Simon and Garfunkel. EX $12.99. The Buckinghams, In One Ear and Gone Tomorrow. The Buckinghams is VG Plus, $9.99. Original Columbia 2i, The Buckinghams. All right, let me take a pause there. We had Eddie and the Cruisers. Craig was at 25, then 25 again with Rebecca, 27 with Rebecca, 27 with Michael. Paul Gill wants the Loretta Lynn. Eric Backrack wants the Simon & Garfunkel bookends. That's sold to Eric Backrack. Eddie and the Cruisers is now at 30, and those are still available. Rush, Fly By Night, $59.99. I told y'all we had a couple Rush surprises in here. VG Plus, $59.99. It's a 75 Terre Haute. 75 Terre Haute. VG Plus, $59.99. John Lill says, I'm very much here. John Lill says he's here, Gary. Marty Ellis first to Rush. Josie Wales was second. Marty, you was first to that. We have Duran Duran Arena EX copy, $22.99. Duran Duran Arena, and the Stray Cats Built for Speed EX, $22.99. Stray Cats Built for Speed EX, $22.99. Styx, the Crystal Ball EX, $17.99. Jeff Beck is sold. That is sold to Darren Meyer for $30. That was a near mint copy in shrink wrap. 80 in the Cruisers. The high bid is with Rebecca Barber at $30. If you want in, now's the time. Marty got Rush. Josie was second. Josie Wales was first to Styx. Josie, are you a first-time buyer? I believe you are. If you are, thank you and welcome. Gary, you were second to Styx. Ron was third. James Bragg was fourth. I will have to give you first-time buyer instructions in just a second. Doobie Brothers, taking it to the streets. That's EX $12.99. EX $12.99. And the B-52s is VG Plus $19.99. In shrink wrap, B-52s, VG Plus $19.99. And Simple Minds, Sparkle in the Rain, EX $22.99. All right, we have Kelly Gabney first on B-52s. That's sold to Kelly Gabney. Brian C. was second. I've got to sell Eddie and the Cruisers. Rebecca's at 30. Michael, Craig, anybody else that was bidding, I'm about to sell it. Gary got B-52s. Brian C. was second. First-time buyers. Anybody watching or anybody that's already made a purchase tonight, Tanner has probably already sent you a message. Tanner has already sent you a message, and that's a welcome message. And that also has instructions that I'm about to tell you, which says if you're a first-time buyer, make sure you send us your email address and your mailing address. This is Tuesday night. We had a live sale last night. We're doing this again on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. $7 in limited shipping all week. Take advantage of that. $7 in limited shipping all week. We combine your orders. We send you one invoice. You pay it. We ship it. And then we start over. And we do this every week. This is sold to Rebecca Barber for $30, 80 in the Cruisers. Let me go through this next crate one more time. Make sure there's nothing else I'm going to pull for auction. If not, then we're just going to go through them. But looks like some pretty cool stuff in here. Yep, I'll just go through that crate next. I'm just going to read titles of what's left in here. We have Gordon Lightfoot, Tina Turner, CCR Pendulum, 10 Years After, Classic Performances, Patti Smith, Brian Ferry, Rick Springfield, ELO Out of the Blue, Jefferson Starship, Vanilla Fudge, the Buckinghams, Duran Duran still available, so is the Stray Cats, the Doobie Brothers, and Simple Minds. There's a couple surprises right there that I'm like, man, can't believe this didn't sell. Let me grab a couple things that we just sold OG copies of that we have in stock over here. You may want these if you just missed out on the OG copy. We had 3 Rush albums in there. We have these in stock on new vinyl. They all sound incredible. If you want this one, comment self-titled. Self-titled is $59.99. That actually comes as a box. It has a poster with it, maybe another poster, a couple of photo inserts of the original band. That's self-titled, $59.99. Fly By Night, if you want this one, comment Fly By Night. That is $39.99. $39.99. And we have Power Windows. Power Windows is $36.99. Power Windows is $36.99. Okay. Let's see here. We got Josie Wells on Duran Duran, and Michael Herrera on Stray Cats. All right, that's sold to Michael Harrar. Monica Malley, what Tina Turner? Tina Turner is Private Dancer, VG Plus $17.99. Tina Turner Private Dancer, VG Plus $17.99. And Josie, that's got Tina Turner, and then Josie wants self-titled. That's sold to Josie. So Power Windows and Fly By Night is still available. Those are new pressings if anybody's interested. Let me grab a new crate of vintage. I'll start putting up some Japanese stuff. In just a second. Let me go ahead and grab this next crate. All right, David Sweevil said Tina Turner sold. That's yours, David. Private Dancer. All right, let's go ahead and get this crate started. This is new vintage arrivals. New vintage arrivals. We've got Bill Withers, Just the Two of Us, and Soul Shadows with hype sticker, sealed, unopened, $44.99 for Bill Withers, $44.99. Jimmy Cliff, The Harder They Come. Jimmy Cliff is $39.99. Really, really nice copy. Really, really nice copy. Sealed Bill Withers and Jimmy Cliff. Country Music Hall of Fame, Patsy Cline, $19.99. Country Music Hall of Fame, Patsy Cline is $19.99. Elton John, Your Songs. Elton John, Your Songs is $19.99. MCA Press, $19.99. Elton John, Your Songs. And The Very Best of Chuck Jackson. Very Best of Chuck Jackson is sealed, $19.99. Howard Jones, 1-to-1. Howard Jones is also sealed, unopened, $34.99. Howard Jones is sealed, $34.99. Unopened copy. Billy Joel Turnstiles. Billy Joel Turnstiles, $14.99. Very, very nice copy. Billy Joel, $14.99. Marshall Tucker Band, Where We All Belong. Marshall Tucker Band is $24.99. And The Police, Zenyatta Mondada. The Police is $24.99. Doc Smith wants the Bill Withers. Josie Wells on Jimmy Cliff. We have Doc got the Bill Withers. That was next. John Leal first on Billy Joel, Turnstiles. John Leal was first to that. Then Sean, then Autumn. Austin, Justin Cleveland. Justin Cleveland first on Marshall Tucker. John Leal first to The Police. Joe Maynard was second. Brian C. was third. That leaves Howard Jones, Chuck Jackson, Elton John, which has a great track listing on it, and Patsy Cline. John Cougar Mellencamp, that's $19.99, and Randy Newman is $19.99. Randy Newman, that is self-titled, Randy Newman. Let me see what I've got in the Japanese bin. Then I'll go through the next vintage crate, and we'll start getting some of those rolling. Nothing is check condition. Let's do White Snake and the Perfect soundtrack. Perfect. Hadn't seen a copy of that in a while. Let's see here. I'll get these started in just a second. David Sweevil also wants John Cougar Mellencamp. We've got Paul Young, The Secret of Association. Paul Young is $24.99. And Waylon Jennings, What Goes Around Comes Around. That's in shrink wrap. Waylon Jennings, $24.99. Paul Young was also in shrink wrap with hype sticker. All right, we have White Snake. This is called Slide It In. American remix version. A little bit different. Has a special version. Has like a picture frame around it. Slide It In. It's got some stickers where it was a rental record. Has the Obi. This is going to be a $55 start. $55 start on Slide It In, American remix version. Pristine vinyl, Japanese pressing, White Snake, $55 start. There's the Japanese insert. There's the very nice cover and Obi. It does have these stickers on it. Very nice though. That is a $55 start. And then we have the Perfect soundtrack. Original motion picture soundtrack to Perfect. Jermaine Jackson, Thompson Twins, Ram, Berlin, Lou Reed, Whitney Houston. This is a $35 start. $35 start. Vinyl is near mint and pristine. Has the Japanese insert with it. Very nice cover. That is a $35 start. Rebecca put PY for Paul Young. David Tate was first to Waylon. Josie was second. Willie Nelson, Tougher Than Leather, $14.99. Josie, can you please send us your email address and mailing address, please? Can you please send us your email address and mailing address? We don't have that yet. And your messages. Please check your messages, Josie. We need that information as soon as possible, as in right now. Paul Gill gets Willie Nelson. James Bragg's at 55 on Whitesnake, and I don't think I missed anything else in between there. Days of Future Past, the Moody Blues is $19.99. Days of Future Past, the Moody Blues is $19.99. Original U.S. Darren pressing, and it's very, very nice. Days of Future Past. Don't call us, we'll call you. Sugarloaf. That is $24.99. That's in shrink wrap. And the other side of the Hollies. The other side of the Hollies is a 1978 UK pressing, $19.99. $19.99. Gary Francisco, first on the Moody Blues. That's sold to Gary. The Hollies, Stop, Stop, Stop. That is a 1971 UK pressing, $19.99. Pay you back with interest. The Hollies, $19.99. Two Hollies albums there. The other side of the Hollies and the Hollies, Stop, Stop, Stop. Eric Burden is here. Eric Burden and the Animals in shrink wrap. Beautiful copy. $19.99. Eric Burden is here in shrink wrap. $19.99. That looked pristine. Somebody needs to get that. And Dolly, Great Balls of Fire. Well, I hadn't seen any kind of vintage Dolly in quite some time. There's one. $24.99 for Dolly. All right, Whitesnake is on its final call. Whitesnake is at 55 with James Bragg. That's going twice, going 3 times. The perfect soundtrack. The perfect soundtrack is no bid. We're looking for a $35 start. We have Debbie Blair first on the Animals. And Mark Robinson, you were second on Eric Burden. Alan Parsons Project, iRobot, $19.99. Alan Parsons Project, iRobot, $19.99. Another really nice copy. Alan Parsons Project, iRobot. Gordon Lightfoot, Sundown. That's in shrink wrap, $19.99. Gordon Lightfoot, Sundown, $19.99. And Howard Jones, Humans Lib. Howard Jones, $24.99. Austin Cauldron wants Days of Future Past. That was already claimed by Gary. Unless there's another Days here. There wasn't. Patty Sweet first on Gordon Lightfoot. And the Best of Sticks. The Best of Sticks is $24.99. The Best of Sticks on Wooden Nickel, $24.99. Steve Miller Band, Fly Like an Eagle. That's in shrink wrap, $19.99. Great, fantastic looking records here, $19.99. Whitesnake is sold to James Bragg for $55. James Bragg gets that for $55 on Whitesnake. Perfect is a buy it now. If anybody wants that, it's a $35 buy it now for the Perfect soundtrack. Lay that right there. That's a $35 buy it now. First come, first serve. Next was Sticks, sold to Josie. And Calvin on Steve Miller Band. And Brian C., you were second on Sticks. Bob Seger, Stranger in Town. What a nice looking copy. $29.99. Bob Seger, Stranger in Town, $29.99. And then David needs to pass on Waylon Jennings and give that one to Josie as well. Yes, Fragile is $19.99. Yes, Fragile, nice looking copy. It's a 5-digit on the label. $19.99 on Yes, Fragile. And Bob Seger, Live Bullet. Original label, very nice looking copy. $29.99 for Bob Seger, Live Bullet. I hope everybody has these albums right here. Very nice looking stuff. And Phil Collins, Face Value. I think this is the 5th one we've had in the last 3 shows. $19.99 for Face Value. $19.99 for Face Value. Let's see here. We got Stephanie Harder first on Yes. Stephanie Harder got Yes. Justin Cleveland was second. Gary Francisco first on the Bob Seger Live. Paul Gill second. Phil Collins, so to Ryan. Bob second. Brittany third. Todd Rundgren, Something Anything, is $29.99. And Jimmy Buffett, don't see this one too often. High Cumberland Jubilee. Has a little bit of cover damage right back here. Very nice vinyl though. $29.99 on Jimmy Buffett. High Cumberland Jubilee. High Cumberland Jubilee. Let me go through this next crate and see what we have in here. Let's see here. I think I've already went through this one. We'll probably go through this one next. Make sure Yeah, we'll go. Let me pull some new Japanese stuff. Yep, I've been through that one, so we'll do that one next. I got that one on standby. Let me see what I've got over here in the Japanese bin. I had got to Foreigner, and I got another Whitesnake. And, hey, a Ghostbusters soundtrack. There was a couple dozen people wanting that one last night. We got a Japanese version. Here's a Whitesnake I don't see too often. I'll get those started in just a second. All right, so Phil Collins. Josie Wells first on the Jimmy Buffett. Frampton Comes Alive, $29.99. Peter Frampton Comes Alive is $29.99. And Berlin Love Life. Berlin Love Life is $24.99. Berlin Love Life. Alan Freed's Memory Lane, $14.99 in shrink wrap. And Dick Clark, 20 Years of Rock and Roll, $19.99. $19.99. Dick Clark, 20 Years of Rock and Roll. Jeff says I was pretty sure. Well, Josie put Nugget, and I don't know what that was, and I was assuming it was an autocorrect for Buffett. It was Nugget, then your JB, and then Buffett. I'm assuming Buffett was an autocorrect to Nugget, so that's why I gave it to her. But if that's not right, we'll fix it. Next Japanese auction. This is a $55 start. This is Foreigner Records, a.k.a. a Foreigner Greatest Hits. This is a $55 start. Foreigner Records has the original lyric insert with it. Has the die-cut jukebox cover. It's actually a gatefold. Pristine with Obi. $55 start. $55 start. Foreigner Records. And then we have Whitesnake. This is called Saints and Sinners. Whitesnake Saints and Sinners. This is also a $55 start. Near mint and pristine Japanese vinyl. Whitesnake Saints and Sinners. There's the insert. Very nice cover. Once again, has a couple stickers on it. Obi, other than that, really nice cover. 55 on that. So those two are 55. And Cindy Jones was first to the Dick Clark. Cindy Jones first to Dick Clark. Miguel was second. Okay, so here's what's left. Alan Freed's Berlin. Frampton Comes Alive. Todd Rundgren. Bob Seger. Howard Jones. Alan Parsons. Dolly Parton. The Hollies. Sugarloaf. Randy Newman. Howard Jones. Chuck Jackson. Elton John. Your Songs. And Patsy Cline. James Bragg is in on Whitesnake at 55. Let me grab a new crate. Moving right along. That was crate number 2 of vintage. I've got more right over here. I'm bringing them up right now. James Bragg's at 55 on Whitesnake. Frampton was $29.99. Frampton Comes Alive. New vintage arrivals. We have Keep On Rockin'. Original hits. 45 original stars. 45 tracks. It even has Truckin' by the Great. Well, this is a lot of great music. $29.99. 3-track. $29.99. Soul Years. 25 Atlantic Record Compilation. $29.99. The Soul Years. $29.99. And Top Hits of the 60s by Realistic. Top Hits of the 60s. $12.99. $12.99. I've got to adjust the air conditioning in here. Give me 1 second. 76 degrees. That's what I was afraid of. Let me adjust the thermostat in here. Hope everybody's doing all right tonight. We're right in the middle of Primetime Coletco. 1:15. I'm going to take a drink of energy drink too. Let me do that right quick. We had a request for Chuck Jackson and Patsy Cline. Chuck Jackson and Patsy Cline. The very best of Chuck Jackson is sealed. This is sealed, Doc Smith, $19.99. The very best of Chuck Jackson. And Country Music Hall of Fame, it's a Pickwick pressing, Patsy Cline. That is $19.99. Has some great songs on it. First track is Walking After Midnight. Those are both available. Let me get back to the top of the feed and see where I was at. We have Whitesnake at 55, final call. Then Doc and Heather asked about Chuck and Jackson. Stacy Metternich wants Rock. That was Keep On Rockin'. That's sold to Stacy. Stacy, that'll keep you busy for a while. Cindy Jones wants original. That was the one Stacy just got. Brittany Bragg wants top hits of the 60s. This is sold to Brittany. Miguel was second. Brian C. wants the first comp. That was already claimed. Doc Smith got Chuck Jackson. Doc Smith got Chuck Jackson. And White Snakes at 56. So the only thing not claimed in here is the Soul Year. Sam and Dave, Otis Redding, Wilson Pickett, Ray Charles, Ruth Brown, Laverne Baker. Early Atlantic artist here. Laverne Baker, Brooke Britton, Chuck Willis, Betty Wright. That is $29.99. That is a 2LP, $29.99. Final call on Whitesnake, or James Bragg's out. Yeah, so Fred has this at 56. We're looking for a starting bid on Foreigner for 55. Stand By Me, 1999. Stand By Me, original motion picture soundtrack. Beautiful copy. Rob and Peter, we're looking for a $55 start on Foreigner. American Graffiti Volume 1, 41 tracks, $24.99. American Graffiti Volume 1. Boris Karloff, Tales of Mystery and Imagination. That's something I almost kept. Pretty cool. It is $29.99. Boris Karloff, Tales of Mystery and Imagination. One more. Tina Turner, Break Every Rule. Tina Turner is $24.99. Final call on Whitesnake. Final call to get a bid in on Foreigner before I make it a buy it now. Stacy Brown first on Stand By Me. Miguel was second. Michelle was third. Josie was fourth. John Leal first on American Graffiti. Ivan, you were fifth on Stand By Me. Fred second on American Graffiti. Heather third. Sarah Morgan first on Boris Karloff. Toby Grimm second. David said sold on Tina Turner. Doc Smith was second. And Boris already sold. Okay. We have ELO's Greatest Hits, 1999. Evil Woman, 1999. ELO's Greatest Hits. ABBA's Greatest Hits, Volume 2, Dancing Queen, 1999. And Emmylou Harris, Pieces of the Sky. Emmylou Harris is in shrink wrap, $14.99. Linda Ronstadt for Country Lovers. That's kind of odd. It's a realistic Capitol, some kind of release. $14.99. Justin Cleveland, first on Electric Light Orchestra. That's sold to Justin Cleveland. And What's a Matter, Baby? Timmy Euro. Timmy Euro on Atlantic. That is $14.99. $14.99. Brad Bullen on Harris. That's Emmylou Harris, sold to Brad Bullen. Larry Smith, first to Linda Ronstadt. And Let's Sell Whitesnake to Fred Carnell for $56. If anybody wants Foreigner, it is a $55 buy it now for Foreigner. First come, first serve. Cold as Ice, Urgent, Double Vision, Dirty White Boy, Head Games, Jukebox Hero, and two people after it. Craig Proper was first. And he gets that for $55. I knew that wasn't going to stay around. It was just a matter if he was going to get a bid or a buy it now. And he got a buy it now, and that is sold to Craig Proper. John Leal, close second on that one. U2 in shrink wrap under a blood red sky, $34.99. U2 under a blood red sky, and Billy Joe Piano Man. It's a reissue with a barcode. Very clean though, $19.99. Those two should be sold by the time I walk back. But let me grab a Ghostbusters soundtrack and a Strangers in the Night with Obi. I'm also going to show a Soundgarden because we just sold a bunch of A-sides. Let me show a copy of Screaming Life and see if we got any takers on this. If anybody wants Soundgarden, I have these in stock. This is Soundgarden Screaming Life and FOP, 2LP, $33.99. $33.99. If you didn't know we had those in stock, now you do. They're $33.99 if you want one. Okay, we've got two new Japanese auctions. We've got the Ghostbusters soundtrack. The Ghostbusters soundtrack is a $35 start. Ghostbusters soundtrack, $35 start. It's a pristine Japanese pressing. There's the LP. There's the Japanese insert. Very nice cover with Obi. $35 start. That's very cool. Very, very cool there. That'll look very nice on display in your collection. And Frank Sinatra, Strangers in the Night. This is also I don't see too many like of just his albums as individual releases. There's his custom Reprise label. That was actually his label, Reprise. That is $35 start or Reprise, whichever you prefer. And there's the Japanese insert. There's the cover in Obi, $35 start. $35 start on Sinatra. Okay, back up to the top. We had Foreigner, Ron Duffield first to the U2. David first to Billy Joel. Sarah Morgan commented GB. GB. What was GB? Billy Joel, and then maybe it auto-corrected or something. Josie wants a Soundgarden, and so does UJ Miller. I grabbed 2. They're both sold. I have more if anybody wants them. Josie and UJ Miller on Soundgarden and Soundgarden. Ghostbusters is at 35. Ghostbusters is at 40. Frank Sinatra, 35, 35. Ghostbusters, 45. Frank Sinatra, 36. Okay. Billy Joel, Songs in the Attic, $14.99. Billy Joel is $14.99. Songs in the Attic. And Alan Parsons Project, $19.99. Alan Parsons Project, the best of Alan Parsons Project, $19.99. 2 more really nice looking records. Brian Ferry, Boys and Girls, $19.99. And Flock of Seagulls, Listen, $24.99. Paul, the bot now on Perfect is $35. That's the only auction that has not received a bid tonight. $35 on Perfect. That was down in this crate. It's a Freddie King jukebox strip. Christmas Tears and I Hear Jingle Bells. I'll lay that right over there. We probably have the 45 somewhere in the back. Okay, so Frank, we had 45 on Ghostbusters, 35 on Frank Sinatra, 40 on Frank Sinatra, 41 on Frank, 50 on Ghostbusters. Ken Frazier wants Alan Parsons Project. Eric Backrack out on Frank Sinatra. Brian C. first on Flock of Seagulls. Ron Duffield says, please put back U2. He already has it. Did you skip Patsy? No, that was from another bin. I pulled it for somebody, but it's still available. Country Music Hall of Fame on Hilltop. That's $19.99. Paul Brother says he'll take the Perfect soundtrack for a $35 buy it now. That's over here. That's sold to him. Eric Beck is out on Ghostbusters. Frank Sinatra, new gold disc. This is a UK compilation in shrink wrap, $14.99. Imported from England, $14.99. Another Frank Sinatra record. And History of British Rock, Volume 2, $26.99. It even has the Beatles on there. They're usually not on a lot of comps. $26.99 for History of British Rock, Volume 2. You see a lot of, if you ever see a lot of soundtracks like hits of the 70s, you will hardly ever see Led Zeppelin. You'll hardly ever see Pink Floyd. You'll hardly ever see Queen. It's some of those, and hits of the 80s, you'll never see AC/DC on there, anything like that. Those really huge bands. They're usually admitted for some reason. Frank Sinatra's at 42. Justin Cleveland wants this Frank Sinatra. This is sold to Justin Cleveland. Brittany Bragg first on History, and the U2. The U2 that Ron put back, give that to Fred Carnell. All right. Okay, Brittany Bragg got the History. Ivan was second. Let's update these 2 auctions. We have Ghostbusters at $50 with Tracy Miller. Eric's out, so that's a final call. And Frank Sinatra is at 42 with Anthony Smith. Those are both final calls, not anymore. Jim Ansted's at 46. Back to the crate. The Best from Buddha, the record label. That's a compilation, $19.99. The Lemon Pipers, Melanie, 1910 Fruit Gum Company, $19.99. And America Perspective, $9.99. America, self-titled. Here's the most desirable America record probably. Original green label, that's first label. And then here's one I don't see too often, $9.99. Frank Sinatra is at 43. We actually already got 46. Final call though on Ghostbusters. That was Blood Red Sky, yes. Tommy Flowers, you're first to America. Let me know which one. And then Wolves Council was second. AC/DC's Aussie. Yes, I just meant compilations in general. Just any kind of compilation. You never see Led Zeppelin on there. Pink Floyd, any of those two bands. Except some of these newer ones. These newer ones, they get the licensing for some of it, but it's hard to find a compilation with a Led Zeppelin song on it. Very much a challenge. And AC/DC. Tommy Flowers wants both Americas. So Wolves Council was second. Anthony's out on Frank Sinatra. Jim Anstant's at 46. Gavin's also out. Ken Frazier, you were third on America. And I'm about to sell the Ghostbusters. Okay, Reba McEntire. What am I going to do about you? Reba's at $14.99 with shrink wrap. Graham Nash, Innocent Eyes. Graham Nash, Innocent Eyes, $14.99. Deep Purple, made in Japan. 2LP, $39.99. Deep Purple, made in Japan, $39.99. Fine Young Cannibals, the Raw and the Crooked. She Drives Me Crazy, $34.99. Very, very nice copy in shrink wrap. That's pristine. John Leal first on Deep Purple. John Young first on Deep Purple. Eric Beck, you were first to Fine Young Cannibals. Josie second. Troy third. All right, Ghostbusters is sold. That's sold to Tracy for $50. And Sinatra is sold to Jim Anstant for $46. And, of course, we just sold Deep Purple. And we just sold Fine Young Cannibals. Let me grab two more. Seth leaving. He's getting his car with the lights on. Tracy Miller, yes, on oh my gosh, I'm not selling that. Seth didn't even tell me that came in. Well, there's my purchase for tonight. I'll show it to y'all, but I don't have that. And I've been looking for it. He didn't even tell me he got that from one of our shipments. So I have a rule when we're buying our Japanese vinyl is we buy everything James Bond. Boy, I've been looking for that for a long time. Wow. That's my second purchase of the week. The other one was David Bowie. All right, two new Japanese pressings. I'll let y'all have these. It's Diary from the Heart. No, it's Crazy from the Heat. David Lee Roth, Crazy from the Heat, in shrink wrap. In shrink wrap, pristine copy. David Lee Roth, $35 start. This looks like it's brand new. David Lee Roth, $35 start. Now, this is a really cool pressing. It's Footloose. Footloose, original motion picture soundtrack. Master sound recording. Footloose, also a $35 start. Also a $35 start. Boy, that feels like 300 grams. $35 start on that. Got a booklet with it. In shrink wrap. Has a little bit of a tear right here in the shrink wrap. Hop sticker, Obi. I do have another crate of new vinyl, yes. Okay. Seth, you didn't tell me this come in. This is on my checklist. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. Let's see here. Back up to the top. Brooke wants the Reba tracks. Give me 1 second on that. David Lee Roth's at 35. David Lee Roth is at 35. We have Reba McEntire is at $14.99. This is Reba McEntire, What Am I Going to Do About You? $14.99, Reba McEntire. Two bids on David Lee Roth. We have The Very Best of Richard Pryor, $14.99. The Very Best of Richard Pryor. Chic, Risque. Chic is $14.99. The Lovin' Spoonful is $14.99. The Lovin' Spoonful, $14.99. American Summer, The Beach Boys. That is an RCA Record Club only release. You can only get this through the RCA Record Club. That is $29.99. A nice looking copy of Rocks. $26.99 Aerosmith Rocks. I'm back in the saddle again. I can sing just like Steven Tyler. A lot of people don't know that. Patti Smith, Dream of Life, is a 1988 German pressing, $34.99. Kenny Heathcock is first on Richard Pryor. That's sold to Kenny. Debbie Blair on Lovin' Spoonful. Paul Brothers second on Richard Pryor. We have Bruce Hornsby and The Range, A Night on the Town. That is in shrink wrap with hop sticker, $24.99. And Janet Jackson Control, $24.99 for Janet Jackson. Final call on David Lee Roth. David Lee Roth is at 35 with John Leal. He was in first. I think 2 other people bid 35, but John Leal's in first. Going twice, going 3 times. And final call if you want to get a bid in on Footloose. Turn Loose. Paul was second to Richard Pryor. Brian Miller first to Aerosmith. That's sold to Brian Miller. John Leal first on Janet Jackson. Brad Bolin second. David Lee Roth is at 36 with Brian Miller. And John Leal said, never mind on Janet Jackson, so give that to Brad Bolin. Brad, you do get the Janet Jackson. Hey, there's an OG Graceland, Paul Simon. $29.99. Original inner sleeve. Paul Simon is $29.99. Tommy James and the Shondells Anthology. $19.99. Some great songs. Crimson and Clover, Crystal Blue Persuasion, Sweet Cherry Wine. I Think We're Alone Now. The Hanky Panky. Josie Wells first on Paul Simon. John Leals at 38 on David Lee Roth. Walter Savage first to Reba. We will make sure that Brooke asked about this earlier. I don't know if she ever got the track list. Brooke, if you still need that, let me know. But if you are passing, that's sold to Walter Savage. Patty Sweet first to Tommy James. Heather second, Larry third. I don't think Janet Jackson's in print. Brian Miller's at 40 on David Lee Roth. Rick James busting out of L7. $19.99 for Rick James. And Badfinger, Wish You Were Here. Badfinger is $19.99. Badfinger is $19.99. Brooke passes on Reba, so that's sold to Walter. And an OG copy, this is $64.99. $64.99. 71 Terre Haute. 71 Terre Haute. Beautiful copy. There's a riot going on. Sly and the Family Stone. Doc Smith first to Rick James. Brian C. second. John Young first on the Badfinger, the middle finger. John Leals back in on David Lee Roth at 42. Does Badfinger have a cutout? No cutout marks. No cutout marks. All right, here's what's left in this crate. These are going fast. We have the Soul Years, 25 Years Soul Compilation. ABBA's Greatest Hits Volume 2. Timmy Euro. Billy Joel Songs in the Attic, Near Mint. Brian Ferry. Patsy Cline. The Best of Buddha, another compilation from Buddha Records. Graham Nash, don't see that one too often. Innocent Eyes. Chic. The Beach Boys 2LP compilation. Patti Smith. Bruce Hornsby. And Sly and the Family Stone. Brian's out on David Lee Roth. Let's go ahead and sell that to John Leal for $42. If anybody wants Footloose, it is a first come, first serve. Buy it now. But keep in mind, that is a master sound pressing of that. $35 buy it now on Footloose. $35 buy it now on Footloose. Let me try to get that back in the packaging. That little piece of shrink is fragile right there. There we go. I'm just going to wait. Okay. Well, that's sold to Gary anyways. Give that to Gary. We just need to be careful getting it back in the sleeve. Gary, you probably don't want to pull out that cover too many times unless you go ahead and cut that shrink wrap off. It's just almost where it's liable to rip off some more. Cindy Jones got the Buddha comp. That's sold to Cindy Jones, and Paul Brothers wants the Soul comp. Okay, so a couple more in there that I thought was gone or should be gone are gone now. Let me start a whole new crate. I've got just a little bit of new vinyl right here, like 7 titles. 7 titles, and there was a couple things with some waiting list. That was Graham Nash, Innocent Eyes, I think. Stone Temple Pilots, Tiny Music, $79.99. There was a waiting list for this. Chris Gardner, $79.99. STP Tiny Music, hardback. That has the remastered LP and 3 CDs. 25th anniversary, $79.99. Tool Undertow, $33.99. Tool Lollapalooza, that's a live unofficial from 1993 on silver vinyl, $38.99. Autumn Betts, you was on a waiting list for that. Tool Lollapalooza, Tool Undertow. Queensryche, Operation Mindcrime. Operation Mindcrime, that is $49.99. I didn't have a waiting list for that. I thought I did. But Mindcrime is $49.99. Sam Hain wants Tool Lollapalooza. That's sold to Sam Hain. Prince, Around the World in a Day. $29.99 for Prince, Around the World in a Day. That is $29.99. Jerry Stone, you was on a waiting list for that. James Bragg gets the Queensryche. That's so to James Bragg. We have The Cure. This is a 2 LP red vinyl, live unofficial. This is The Red Light District, Amsterdam from 1979. Red vinyl, $44.99. Put down Austin Cauldron for a Tool Lollapalooza. Tool Fear Inoculum, 3 LP, $76.99. Fear Inoculum. Ace Frehley. Boy, I've got a bunch of these all of a sudden. But we're selling them. Actually, there's only one left over here, 2. So I don't have as many. I've sold a dozen or so in the last week. Ace Frehley, $33.99. And a restock. I was actually low on these. Rush Hemispheres. Rush Hemispheres is $36.99. Craig, let me know which Queensryche, or I guess there was only one. Put down Craig Ruth for a Queensryche Empire. And that means, Chris Gardner, you was on a waiting list for The Cure on red vinyl. And Jeffrey Donovan, if you're listening, your De La Soul on black vinyl came in. By the way, I sold out, but we got a restock of Slayer, Seasons of the Abyss. That was for Kelly Gabney, Todd Tipton, Sean Fairweather, and Ken Crooker. I ordered like 8, and they only sent me 4, and there was 4 people on the waiting list. Kelly Gabney, Todd Tipton, Sean Fairweather. Of course, Debbie, Your Bad Company came in. What else? Take Jerry Stone off Prince. He said he doesn't need that anymore. Chris Gardner got Tiny Music. The Cult, self-titled on black vinyl. The Cult, self-titled on black vinyl. Craig, you got that. And I've already read off the other 2. Justin Cleveland said he'll take this Cure, live unofficial. Paul Brothers wants Prince, Around the World in a Day. Or you can just put him down for Jerry's. Whichever you want to do. Sean, the Slayer, they're on top of the pickups over there. Sean, I'll get you a price on that. If we could check on the price on Slayer, so Sean will know. I think they're $36.99, Sean. $36.99. They were. Seth said yes. Let me go through the next bin of new stuff and see what we want to pull for auctions. It's another bin of really good-looking stuff. Let me go through that. We've got 3 more crates, all just like the first. Nice, clean, vintage from all these collections we've been buying. Paul texted me a moment ago. He's been talking to people today. He's officially the lead master now. So he's going to be out on the hunt starting Thursday. We're going to be buying some new records. So we've got another one of these. Jimmy Buffett. The last one, I think we probably had over 20 different bidders on it the last time. This is Songs You Know by Heart. Jimmy Buffett's greatest hits. This is not a club. This is a US OG. This is a $25 start. There was a lot of people bidding on this last time. There is no Jimmy Buffett in print. Their greatest hits, his greatest hits. I wish there was. Jimmy Buffett's a $25 start. Craig Ruth, yeah, Operation Mindcrime for Craig. Yes, Operation Mindcrime. Brian C., what was Rush? Can you let me know what Rush is? Paul, the Star Trek soundtrack has not come in. The Star Trek soundtrack, the Picard, that has not come in yet. I do not have that Slayer, but I can get it, David. I can get that Slayer. Jimmy Buffett, 25, 25, 30. Brian C. wants Hemispheres, Rush Hemispheres, right here. Sell that to Brian C. I forgot I showed that. That's sold to Brian C. for Rush Hemispheres. Kraftwerk, we need to write all these down. Kraftwerk, chance to order Kraftwerk, Man Machine. We need to write down for Jedit because I never did do that. And Slayer, God Hates Us All for David Schroeder. I need to do that one. Jimmy Buffett, 35, 35, 38, 40, 45, and 40. I knew that one would be popular again. Let me grab this crate that this was pulled out of. What did I do with it? I guess this is it right here, isn't it? Yeah. All right, let me grab this one. Another crate of new arrivals. David Schroeder wants that. Let's go through this crate. We got 1 auction up. We usually keep 2 going. So let me grab another Japanese pressing. We're going to do a... Let's start back from the front. Boston. Yep, here's a great one. This is a $65 start. Doesn't get much better than this. This is Boston, their self-titled debut album. A pristine Japanese press. More Than a Feeling, Peace of Mind, Long Time. There's the Japanese insert. There's the original anti-static that it's been stored in for 50 years. Really cool obi. Complements the cover very well. That is a $65 start. $65 start on that. Can you get Drive-By Truckers Decoration Day? We'll write that down as well. I'm going to have a lot of stuff to order tonight. James Bragg, Wu-Tang will be here tomorrow. That will be here tomorrow. Yours and 2 extra copies to sell. Lack of JFK records. That's because when new collections come in, when we have all these great records, the JFK records kind of get pushed to the back until we get kind of to the, not even the bottom of the barrel. I don't want to say JFK's bottom of the barrel, but about middle of the barrel. All righty. Here we go. This first one's going to be an instant seller. Sammy Hagar, Standing Hampton, $24.99. Sammy Hagar, Standing Hampton, $24.99. Fleetwood Mac, Bare Trees. JR wrote his name on the cover. Haven't seen that in a while, though. $24.99. John Cougar Mellencamp, Scarecrow, $19.99. Scarecrow, $19.99. JCM. Phil Collins. Boy, we've sold a lot of Phil Collins in the last 7 shows. A perfect copy. Hello, I Must Be Going. It even has I Don't Care Anymore. And You Can't Hurry Love, the Supremes cover, which I guess is a Rodgers and Hart song. Uriah Heep, Demons and Wizards. That's a nice looking one. I like these collections where everything is just like so well taken care of. We get them in a grade that we don't see too often. The Guess Who number 10, $14.99 for the Guess Who. American Dream by CSNY, $19.99. American Dream. Armed Forces, $24.99. Any 45? No bonus 45. Elvis Costello, though, nice looking copy, $24.99. All right, so Jimmy Buffett was at 40 and then 45. Any more God Hates Us All? That is a special request, but Brett, if you want one, let me know. Let me know if you want one of those, Brett Mylin. I will order it for you. Felix also wants one of those. So, yeah, just take down those names. Cindy, what was EBTG? Let me know what that is. John Leal, first to Sammy Hagar. John Leal got to Sammy Hagar. Leslie Holt on John Cougar Mellencamp. Have you seen Meatloaf Bat Out of Hell 2? That comes through occasionally, but it usually sells. I haven't seen it in a while, though. The Wu-Tang Clan was James Bragg, Low End Theory. Low End Theory. Those will be here tomorrow. Jimmy Buffett's at 46. Cindy Jones wants Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Steve Henry wants Uriah Heep. Justin Cleveland on Phil Collins. Brett said yes on Slayer. And Felix said yes on Slayer. And Everything But True. Okay, I'll have to check on that. I'm not too familiar with their catalog. Looking for a $65 start on Boston. Jimmy Buffett's at 46. Ray Charles, I'm All Yours, Baby. Ray Charles is $19.99. Heart, Bad Animals. Heart is $19.99. Bad Animals. And the best of Elvis Costello. First track is Allison. Also has Pump It Up. $24.99. John Leal first on Heart. That's sold to John Leal. I bet somebody's going to grab Elvis Costello. And Jimmy Buffett's been hot. How about Changes in Latitudes? It has a gold stamp promo. This has Margaritaville on it. That has Margaritaville on it. $19.99. Tubes, The Completion Backwards Principle. The Tubes is $19.99. Cindy Jones first on Elvis Costello. Jason was second. Josh third. Dave Plunkett's at 48 on Jimmy Buffett. Oh, yes, Tribe Called Quest. Tribe Called Quest, not Wu-Tang. My bad. I got those mixed up. And Gary Francisco first to Jimmy Buffett. He was first to this one. Dave Plunkett's at 48 on that one. All right. Now, there was something else in there I missed. Jason's Red Light District. I don't think I have another copy of that. The Cure Unofficial. Jason, I may have to take your name down if that's okay. Well, I can't believe no one bought Tool Undertow. We had a used copy of that the other night for $4 or $5 less, and I could have sold 10 copies of it. Okay, back to the crate. The Best of the James Gang. Great compilation here, $19.99. Funk 49, Walk Away. All those great Joe Walsh songs. The Great Buddy Holly is $19.99. The Great Buddy Holly and the Eurythmics. That is Revenge. The Eurythmics Revenge, $24.99. Elton John, Ice on Fire, $19.99 for Elton John. And Tangerine Dream Exit. Tangerine Dream Exit, $24.99. Pat Benatar, Live from Earth. Benatar is $14.99. Gary's at 50 on Jimmy Buffett. Debbie needs to put back Love and Spoonful. Debbie needs to put back Love and Spoonful. Miguel first on Buddy Holly. We have Jason F. I will get you a Cure Red Light District red vinyl. Consider it sold to you. Michelle Phillips first to Pat Benatar. And let's go ahead and end Boston. $65 buy it now. Somebody just go ahead and you probably already have it typed in. But that's cool. Very, very nice. I have one of those myself. I also have a US with all the hop stickers. And I don't think, I guess that's the only versions of that. We need like an Analog Productions or something of that. That'd be pretty cool. I don't know if there is a master tape of that album. $65, still in existence. And we're going to go ahead and wrap up Jimmy in just a second. Jimmy is at 50 with Gary. Monica Malley gets to Boston. Great decision. Jimmy Buffett's at 51. Tangerine Dream still available. Foreigner, their debut self-titled first album, Foreigner, feels like the first time. I think we've all heard that. $19.99 for Foreigner. Lionel Richie, Can't Slow Down. Lionel is $14.99. Shaved Fish, this is a John Lennon greatest hits on the Apple label. $24.99, whatever gets you through the night. Number 9, Dream. Mother has the Christmas song. Imagine, Instant Karma. That is $24.99. Steppenwolf 7. Steppenwolf 7, $19.99. Steppenwolf 7, $19.99 for Steppenwolf 7. And Steve Martin, Let's Get Small. Steve Martin is $14.99. These are all very clean, very nice. This is the John Lennon collection. Another hits comp in shrink wrap with hop sticker. That is $24.99. That is still available. Dave Plunkett's at 51 on Jimmy Buffett. We have Gary's out on Jimmy Buffett. Leslie Holt first to John Lennon. John Lang, we've already sold Boston. We have Todd Tipton first on Foreigner. That was self-titled. Looks like Michael Nath first to This Lennon and Mark Robinson second. 65 on Boston, and that was sold to Monica Malley. Journey, Raised on Radio, original inner sleeve. That's going to be an instant seller, $24.99. There was a master sound. I remember that. We've had that before. I guess that's the closest thing to an audio file, unless you're getting this Japanese pressing. $24.99 on Journey. Let me look through our other crate. I've got 2 crates of vintage over here I hadn't been through yet. Let me see what we got in here. Is this an interesting bin? Or is this in a first press? I don't know where I came up with interesting. Ooh. Ah. Oh my gosh. I might have to see how nice that really is before I sell it. Wow. Okay, this crate is kind of making me dizzy. I'm officially dizzy, and I'm very dizzy. Let's see how nice this looks. Ooh, in shrink wrap, Dusty Springfield in Memphis. In shrink wrap. Crisp, original inner sleeve. John has this marked a 69 MGM custom press. That is amazing. It looks unplayed. You could tell just when I pulled out the inner sleeve how crisp it was. This is a $65 start, Dusty Springfield in Memphis. OG Atlantic MGM custom press. That's a $65 start. Dusty Springfield in Memphis. It gets better. The cover is in shrink wrap and has one of my favorite songs. I mean, timeless. Son of a Preacher Man. This is a fantastic album. Absolutely a fantastic album. That is a top copy, $65 start, Dusty Springfield in Memphis. Less than what we have it stickered, but we'll get it started for $65. Back up to the top. Brittany, yes, you're on the waiting list for Low End Theory as well. Yes, you are. Leslie Holt got the Journey. Leslie Holt got Journey. Aaron Jolly was second. Monica, Boston is 65. Boston was 65. Boston was 65. Dusty Springfield, 65, now 70. And Journey's already sold. Jimmy Buffett, I think it should be sold, but it's been a while. Gary was out. Final call. Dave Plunkett, $51. I'm about to sell that. Okay, back to the bin. Deep Purple, $26.99. Deep Purple Stormbringer, $26.99. Sting, the Dream of the Blue Turtle. Sting is $24.99. The Dream of the Blue Turtle. Fog Hat, Stone Blue. Fog Hat's $14.99. And the Beach Boys Endless Summer, just $19.99. This is a 2LP Beach Boys compilation. And here's what it looks like. It looks like it's brand new. The Beach Boys Endless Summer, $19.99. Bad Company, Fame and Fortune. Here's another one we don't see as often. Gold stamp promo, hype sticker. It is a cutout, $19.99 for Bad Company. And Johnny Burnett is $39.99. This was pressed in the 80s. This is an 80s pressing. The real copies of these are hundreds and hundreds. They get maybe sometimes into the thousands. Johnny Burnett Trio. All right, let's go ahead and sell Dave Plunkett, the Jimmy Buffett, for $51. Dusty Springfield is at $75 of Alex Roman. Dusty Springfield's at $75. John Lill gets Sting. John Lill gets Sting. Roger Ramjet on Deep Purple. Carol Puckett on Bad Company. Carol Puckett on Bad Company. Michael Nath, I think, second on Bad Company. James Bragg, third. And we have, I don't think any other claims. Madonna, You Can Dance, $24.99. Madonna, You Can Dance. Do you have any more? I don't have any more. Well, there could be some pop up, but I don't know where any is I can go to. Dusty Springfield's at $75. Charlie DeFrank, this is an OG MGM custom press. It is near mint in shrink wrap. A perfect copy. Near mint and shrink wrap. That's at $75 of Alex Roman. Let me drag the rest of this crate over here and see what else. There was a couple more I was thinking about pulling, including this Grateful Dead. The best of the Grateful Dead. Best of the Grateful Dead. Skeletons from the Closet. Skeletons from the Closet. This has, is this the original inner sleeve? No, that's not the original inner sleeve. Very nice vinyl, as in near mint minus. I believe that's the second label for this. Very nice copy, though. Best of the Grateful Dead. $35 start. John Young is at $77 on Dusty Springfield. Alex, you're out. Troy Robinson was first to Madonna. Troy Robinson first to Madonna. This is Tom Jones. $9.99 for Tom Jones. Joe Walsh, You Bought It, You Name It. $19.99 in shrink wrap. Cyndi Lauper, She's So Unusual. Cyndi Lauper is $24.99. Original inner sleeve. She's So Unusual. $24.99. The Judds, Rockin' with the Rhythm. The Judds is $24.99. That's in shrink wrap. And My Romance, Carly Simon. I don't know if I've ever seen that one. Carly Simon, $9.99. 1990? Is that what that says? 1990. Carly Simon. That's why. Dusty Springfield, $77. Grateful Dead, $35. Dusty Springfield, $80. Grateful Dead, $35. Another $80 bid on Dusty Springfield. Cindy Jones, first to Tom Jones. Grateful Dead, $37. Grateful Dead, $40. Davey Blair, first to Carly Simon. Paul Gill, first to the Judds. Grateful Dead, $39. Cindy, second on Carly. Grateful Dead, $40. So Grateful Dead's at $40. Dusty Springfield's at $80. And Alex was in first at $80. Charlie, you were second. Olivia, Let's Get Physical. Gold stamp promo. Barb wrote her name in Olivia's headband. Other than that, nice copy. $9.99. Donovan's Greatest Hits. Mellow Yellow, Sunshine Superman. $12.99. Jennifer Juniper, Season of the Witch. $12.99. Gatefold. Josh is at $42 on the Grateful Dead. Dusty's at $81. Anthony Smith wants Olivia Newton-John. Grateful Dead, $45.47. David Crosby and Graham Nash, $19.99. David Crosby and Graham Nash. Joe Cocker, Luxury You Can Afford, $24.99. And Ray Charles, Doing His Thing. Ray Charles is $19.99, Doing His Thing. The Best of Buddy Holly, that's in shrink wrap, $19.99. And Tangerine Dream, Rubicon, that is $24.99. Tangerine Dream, Rubicon. All righty. Next is what there was no. I got Wu-Tang Clan and Tribe Called Quest mixed up. There has not been any Wu-Tang. Sorry, Rob. There has not been any Wu-Tang Clan. Grateful Dead's at 50. Josh is out. Donovan, I don't think it could get any nicer, Fred. It's a gatefold. These are all EX Plus to near mint minus. This looks like it's unplayed. That's $12.99. I'm sure you'll want it. Carol, the bad company was called Fame and Fortune. Grateful Dead's at 57. Pete wants Tangerine Dream. Grateful Dead's at 60. Let's do a final call. Mr. Alex LaRoman and John Young. Let me know if y'all are in or out on Dusty Springfield. Charlie DeFrank has that at 81. 81 on that. Fred, let me know if you want Donovan, because if you don't, it's so does Cindy Jones. And then Autumn Betts wants CL. CL was Cindy Lauper. That's so to Autumn Betts. Next is Pat Benatar, Crimes of Passion, $14.99. Pat Benatar, Crimes of Passion, $14.99. Sheena Easton, Best Kept Secret, $9.99. And Melissa Etheridge is $24.99. Let's see if Fred Carnell got a Donovan last night. Greatest hits. If he didn't, then we can add that to his ticket. If he does, then it goes to Cindy Jones. Dusty Springfield at 85. John Young's out. Grateful Dead 63. Brian out. Sean Kelly first to Pat Benatar. Sean Kelly first to that. Doc Smith first to Sheena Easton. And Leslie Leslie first on Melissa Etheridge. Troy second on Sheena Easton. Till Tuesday, welcome home. Till Tuesday is $24.99. And Suzanne Vega, Solitude Standing, $24.99. Carol Puckett needs to put back Bad Company. The Bellamy Brothers, the two and only. Bellamy Brothers is $9.99. Carol Puckett. And there was lots of people next on Bad Company. I think Michael Nath was second. Michael Nath, is that true? And then James Bragg was third. And that means we only have to charge Carol Puckett a $7,500 restocking fee. That won't be anything, though. So just charge Carol a $7,500 restocking fee. Invisible Touch. Somebody just mentioned this album. $19.99, and it's near mint. Invisible Touch. Genesis. Foreigner 4 is $19.99. And the Neville Brothers, Uptown. The Neville Brothers is $14.99. Neville Brothers. Bonnie Raitt, Nick of Time, $9.99. And the B-52s, Mesopotamia, $24.99. Mesopotamia, B-52s. Have I ran? The whole bin is high-end, Brandon. Where have you been? This is a whole bin of high-end stuff. Dusty Springfield's at 86. Alex Roman, you're out. Final call on Grateful Dead. James Bragg has that for 63. Dusty Springfield, Josie Wells, first to Genesis. Josie's first to Genesis. John Lill second. Sean third. Steve Botsford fourth. Doc Smith first to the Neville Brothers. Doc Smith first to the Neville Brothers. Michelle first to Bonnie Raitt. Justin was second. Joe was third. Leslie was fourth. Brad was fifth. The Neville Brothers is already sold. James Bragg gets the B-52s. Alex is at 87 on Dusty Springfield. Paul, you were 7th on Bonnie Raitt. Arm Lazelle, we already have a $67 bid, a $63 bid on Grateful Dead. We already have that at, you just bid 41, we're already at 63. Miguel wants to swap out Buddy Holly's. I think he got one earlier, he would rather have this one, right? So he got a Buddy Holly earlier, he would rather have that one. You just want me to lay it up here on top of the B-52s? Okay. That was a great crate, and there's still great stuff left. We got 2 auctions that still are getting bids, so I'm going to leave those up. I'm going to read the titles very quickly in these one more time, and then the next crate is really maybe the best crate so far of the night. Fleetwood Mac, Bare Trees. If you want prices, let me know. The Guess Who number 10. Ellis Costello, Armed Forces. Ray Charles, I'm All Yours Baby. The Tubes, Best of the James Gang. The Eurythmics, Elton John, Tangerine Dream, Lionel Richie, Steppenwolf 7, Steve Martin, Foghat, The Beach Boys, Johnny Burnett, I love that album, Joe Walsh, Graham Nash, David Crosby, Joe Cocker, Ray Charles, Till Tuesday, Suzanne Vega, the Bellamy Brothers, and Foreigner 4. Justin Cleveland wants the Best of the James Gang. I thought someone got that earlier. That's surprising. It's now sold to Justin Cleveland. Price on 4 and price on the Eurythmics. Josie Wells, the Foreigner 4 is $19.99. and the Eurythmics is $24.99. Price on Elvis Costello, $24.99. That was for Armed Forces, $24.99. Craig also asked the price on Foreign. It was $19.99. Alex, Johnny Burnett is a 1980s reissue. 1980s reissue. It is very nice, $39.99. $39.99. Josie Wells says, I'll take Foreigner 4. Okay, Grateful Dead. Arm Lozelle, just let me know if you're out. I know you said you had a bad lag, but I am going to sell this to James Bragg for $63 if you're out. And then Dusty Springfield, we're talking about a near mint OG here. And Alex was at 87. Charlie DeFrank, if you could let me know if you're in or out, Alex has that for 87. Price on Foghat, those were $19.99, Randy. Eric Backrack wants the Elvis Costello. Alex Roman said sold on Johnny Burnett. Ken Frazier, I have already sold Elvis Costello. Arm Lazelle's at 65 on Grateful Dead. Charlie's at 90 on Dusty Springfield. And yes, this was Best of the Grateful Dead. This was the second label. It is a top copy, though. I mean, the vinyl is immaculate, and the cover is also very nice. That's at 65. And then the Dusty Springfield, I don't even want to handle it too much more. Really nice copy. That's now at 90. Alex Roman, you're out. Randy Scarborough said he'll take the Foghat. And that was Stone Blue, right? Stone Blue. 69 on the Grateful Dead and 100 on Dusty Springfield. I will keep the Donovan, but if I had a different one last night, please put it back. Okay. Grateful Dead, 66. You didn't have a Donovan. You had no Donovans last night. Grateful Dead, 66, 69. We got 3 bidders still on Grateful Dead. Let me go through this crate one more time, make sure there's nothing I'm going to auction. There's a couple in here that I probably should, but... and then there's another crate after this. I repeat, there's another crate after this. Well, let me mix up these here. That's a cool record. I probably should auction that. We usually auction anything Archie's. And there's another Journey album, just like that first one we don't see too often. I think everything else is going to be a surprise and all first come, first serve. Here we go. More new vinyl. I don't have any more new vinyl. There's huge shipments for tomorrow, either tomorrow or Thursday. But that was it. I had that one crate and I had that other half crate. Now I can go back through some stuff, but I don't have any more new vinyl. I don't have any more new vinyl, but I can definitely go back through some stuff. And I probably need to because we have a lot of new buyers on. And I think there's some stuff around here that they would definitely be interested in. Or maybe some stuff people passed on prior weeks because of budgets and now they're ready for it. That's always a thing too. So let's go through this crate. Really good stuff. These auctions are still getting bids. Charlie DeFrank, you're out. Alex bid 100. He's on YouTube. You're out. Grateful Dead was at 69, then 70, and now 77 with James Bragg. Steppenwolf for ladies only, $19.99. Steppenwolf for ladies only. James Gang Straight Shooter. White Label Promo has a promo sticker on the back as well. White Label Promo of the James Gang, $24.99. James Gang Straight Shooter. Jay Giles Live in shrink wrap, $19.99. James Gang Live Full House in shrink wrap, $19.99. The Cars Heartbeat City, $34.99 for the Cars Heartbeat City. Billy Joel Glass Houses. Billy Joel Glass Houses, $14.99. Time in a Bottle, Jim Croce's Greatest Love Songs, $14.99. Greatest Love Songs. Also has Operator, I'll Have to Say I Love You in a Song. Great stuff there. Dusty is back in. Charlie did a $1 bump on you, Alex. He's at 101. First to Billy Joel was John Leal. I think that was, BJ. That's so to John Leal. Paul Gill second. Patty third. Roger Ramjet first on JGB. Jay Giles Band for Roger Ramjet. John Ambrosic first on Jim Croce. Rami Lou was second. Darren Meyer was third. Alex is back in on Dusty Springfield at 105. The Grateful Dead is at 77. Grateful Dead albums always attract a lot of bids when they're high grade. I could put up any Grateful Dead album that's high grade. Definitely the collectors will be on it. Regardless of the pressing, the title, if it's high grade, they're after it. Charlie, you're back out on Dusty. That's at 105. The Cars. This one's always left behind. Such a shame. Such a great album. The original, Jerry Lee Lewis, that's on gold vinyl from 1978. That is $19.99. That has some of his great stuff on it, like Whole Lot of Shaking Going On and Great Balls of Fire. That is $19.99. It's on gold vinyl, too. The Jewel of the Nile soundtrack. The Jewel of the Nile soundtrack in shrink wrap with hop sticker, $19.99. The Jewel of the Nile. And The Unicorn by the Irish Rovers. That's in shrink wrap, an original Decca, $12.99. Don Henley, I Can't Stand Still. This is always a really good sounding record. The first time I played it, of course, that hit song, Dirty Laundry, that sounds incredible on here. That's overall a great album, too. Don Henley, of course, a former member of the Eagles. The Who, Hooligans, always has ring wear. This is a really nice copy. Gatefold, this is a Who compilation, $29.99 for The Who, Hooligans. I Can't Explain, I Can See for Miles, Pinball Wizard. Summertime Blues, that was on side 1. Back up to the top, Roger Ramjet is going to take the Cars. I talked him into it. Josie Wells on JL, that's Jerry Lewis. Alex was 2nd, Fred Carnell 3rd, Larry Smith 4. Charlie's back in on Dusty at 106. Heather 5th on Jerry Lee Lewis. Steve Henry on Don Henley. Autumn Betts on the Irish Rovers. Alex is back in on Dusty Springfield at 110. Are we done on the Grateful Dead? I think we are. James Bragg gets it for $77. Best of the Grateful Dead. That's sold for $77. Billy Joel, Street Life Serenade, $14.99. The Nile is $19.99. Let me grab a new Japanese pressing. Let's see here. Let's do... Here's a Johnny Cash I've never seen as a Japanese pressing. A Believer Sings the Truth. Kind of unique. It's on Columbia. $35 start. This is a Japanese press of Johnny Cash. A Believer Sings the Truth. A Believer Sings the Truth. That's a $35 start. It is near mint and pristine. Near mint and pristine. Really nice cover, especially to be black. Doesn't show much wear at all. Nice. I've never seen... Don't see that album a lot, and it's a Japanese pressing. $35 start. John Leal, first on Billy Joe. Sean, Josie, and Autumn all next. Charlie's out on Dusty Springfield. Long, hard-fought battle for this top copy. It's now $110 with Alex. Final call. Thriller, $29.99. It does have co-produced by Michael Jackson on the back. Original lyric inner sleeve, $29.99. Really clean copy, though, of Thriller. Al Green's Greatest Hits. This is $34.99. Good stuff here. Al Green's Greatest Hits. Nice copy on the original High London Memphis Sound label. That is $34.99 for Al Green's Greatest Hits. Alice Cooper's Greatest Hits is $26.99. Alice Cooper's Greatest Hits is $26.99. Aaron Jolly's at $35 on cash. Ryan Anderson on Al Green. Tanner, that one was $34.99. Brandon was 2nd. Marty 3rd. Brad 4th. Doc 5th. Still got Alice Cooper's Greatest Hits. And Jefferson Airplane, 2400 Fulton Street, $34.99. That's a 2LP RCA near mint in shrink wrap, $34.99. Final call on cash and final call on Dusty Springfield. 2001, A Space Oddity. Really nice copy, $19.99. Brittany Bragg wants Jefferson Airplane. Alice Cooper is not a gatefold. Alice Cooper is not a gatefold. Chicago, Greatest Hits Volume 2, $9.99. Chicago's Greatest Hits Volume 2, $9.99. Josie Wells wants 2001. Roger Ramjet was 2nd. James, you were 2nd. James Bragg, 2nd on Jefferson Airplane. Romelu first to Chicago. Cindy Jones 2nd. Jay Giles Band, Freeze Frame, $19.99 on Jay Giles Band, Freeze Frame. And James Gang, Passing Through, White Label Promo. White Label Promo, $24.99. It says complimentary, not for sale. Marty Ellis, you were third on Chicago. Jethro Tull, Benefit, 1999 on Jethro Tull, Benefit. Walt Disney's Productions soundtrack to Pete's Dragon. Pete's Dragon is $29.99. Wild and Peaceful, Kool and the Gang with Jungle Boogie and Funky Stuff. A 73 LA press in shrink wrap, $39.99. A beautiful copy, Kool and the Gang, $39.99. Let's end some auctions. We got a museum quality Dusty Springfield going to Alex Roman for $110. That's sold to Alex for $110. And Johnny Cash is sold to Aaron Jolly for $35. Kool and the Gang is sold to Doc Smith. That was almost something I kept there. The stickers on it and the shrink wrap. Well, actually, I don't know if those are stickers. I think the cover's actually, it's made to look that way. Jungle Boogie's on there, though. Joe Zanelli, you were second. All right, I got two more auctions here, two more U.S. pressings. I actually pulled these out of this bin. We always auction anything Archie's. This is everything's Archie's. I've been looking for one of those sweaters like they're wearing. I think those are pretty hard to come by. New or vintage, especially original ones. Everything's Archie's. A beautiful copy. First track is on side 2 is Sugar Sugar. Really nice. This is a $25 start. Nice cover. We had a sealed copy the other night of the Archies. This is very, very nice. $25 start. Usually a record, because a lot of kids handled it. Usually beat the heck. That one's actually pretty clean. And then here's another one of those early Journey albums we don't get as often. This is called Next by Journey. Has the original inner sleeve. Near mint minus vinyl in shrink wrap with the nice price sticker. That's a $25 start. $25 start. Jason Fornerat, Pete's Dragon was $29.99. $29.99. Here's another one. This is sealed, $29.99, unopened. KC and the Sunshine Band's greatest hits. Sealed with hype sticker, $29.99. Sealed with hype sticker, $29.99. Ace, no strings attached. No, just no strings. Ace is also sealed, $14.99. $14.99. Steppenwolf at Your Birthday Party in shrink wrap, $19.99. The Archies, $25. Clay Moore, you were second. Clay bid $28. John Leal first on KC. Pete was second. Jason Fornerat wants Pete's Dragon. Troy was third on KC. Joe was fourth. Randy Scarborough first to Steppenwolf. We're looking for a $25 start on Next by Journey. The Deep soundtrack, $29.99. This has the poster with it, and it's on blue vinyl. Has the poster with it, and it's on blue vinyl. The Deep soundtrack, $29.99. A Single Man, Elton John's solo album, or one of his studio albums, $19.99. And the classic, Doobie Brothers, The Captain and Me, OG, Gatefold, near mint, $14.99. Gary Francisco first on the Deep soundtrack. That's sold to Gary. And this is Roseanne Cash, King's Record Shop. Roseanne Cash is $19.99. So Gary got the Deep. Paul Gill first on the Doobie Brothers. Gary was second on that. Then Randy, then Tommy, then Michael. Jeff McIntosh, let me know if you're in or out on the Archies. Clay Moore's at $28. Final call if anybody wants to get a bid in on Journey. Final call on that. Doc Smith, you were second or sixth on the Doobies. And Leslie first to Roseanne Cash. That's sold to Leslie Holt. Glenn Campbell, Reunion, the songs of Jimmy Webb. That is sealed, $19.99. Jeff's out on the Archies. Chris is in on the Journey album at $25. Carole King Music. This is a quadraphonic pressing. $24.99. Carole King Music. Boy, how about that sounds good. $24.99. Even comes in this custom like envelope sleeve, inner sleeve. $24.99 on that. Gary Francisco is going to take the sealed Glenn Campbell. That's sold to Gary Francisco. Original motion picture soundtrack to Eddie and the Cruisers 2. Eddie and the Cruisers 2, $59.99. Never ever seen that. $59.99. Eddie and the Cruisers 2. Ted Nugent and the Ambroy Dukes, $29.99 on mainstream. Beautiful copy. Ted Nugent and Boy Dukes. Beautiful copy. $29.99. Cindy Jones first on Carole King, the quad. Michelle first on Eddie and the Cruisers. Joe Jackson's Jumpin' Jive. $24.99 on Joe Jackson's Jumpin' Jive. And Queen, A Night at the Opera. Finally, a copy that's not check condition. The cover always shows a little bit of wear where it's white. $34.99 on Queen. Autumn's at $27 on Journey. Steve Henry gets the Ted Nugent. Fred Carnell was second. I am doing a final call on the Archies for $28. The Pretenders, the singles. This is like a Pretenders hits comp. $24.99. The Pretenders singles, $24.99. Elvis, the Legend. I've never seen this one before. $19.99. It's a Pickwick International. Pickwick Camden International. Marty Ellis, first to the Pretenders. John Leal, you were second. Mel was third. John Fogerty, center field in shrink wrap, $19.99. John Fogerty, center field in shrink wrap, $19.99. Lee Greenwood's Greatest Hits in shrink wrap, that's $9.99. We love shrink wrap, and we love God Bless the USA. Right, Tanner? The Grassroots Feelings. The Grassroots Feelings featuring Creed from The Office, $19.99. Is he on this one? Yeah, there he is. There's Creed from The Office, $19.99. And Wham! Music from the Edge of Heaven, a gold stamp promo, $34.99. Original inner sleeve, $34.99. Aaron Jolly, first on John Fogerty. Steve Henry wants Lee Greenwood. The Archies is sold for $28 to Clay Moore. Yeah, Clay Moore got the Archies for $28. Journey's at $28 with Chris Kirkley. Carlene wants Wham. Of course, Carlene wants Wham. John Leal's at $30 on Journey. Yes, this is really Creed Bratton. That is really Creed Bratton. You are correct. That is him. He has a very interesting story. You should go search his name on YouTube and find that podcast he did telling about his life. Incredible. There was one time he was stranded in the middle of the Sahara Desert and he didn't even know if he was going to live. Heart is $19.99. He was so messed up on acid and didn't know where he was at. $19.99 for Heart, self-titled in shrink wrap. That is sold very quickly to John Leal. Craig was second. And Cool and the Gang, Celebrate Good Times. Come on. $14.99 for Cool and the Gang, Celebrate. Craig Proper is second on Heart. Journey's at $30 with John Leal, going once, going twice. Creed Bratton was in the group called The Grassroots. That's not even really his name, though. I don't even know what his... it's not his real name, though. Brad Bolin first on Cool and the Gang. Doc Smith second. Ron Duffield. Whatever his real name is, I don't even think that is what he's as a registered citizen at. It's, like I said, very interesting life. You go look up Creed Bratton. I know one thing. He's a very funny dude. He's very funny in that show, and he barely even said anything. He just had to, like, make faces and, I don't know, just whatever made him funny in that show. We've got more new arrivals to go through. More new arrivals to go through, but let me read through this title one more time. Final Call on Final Call on Journey for $30. Grassroots is $14.99. Grassroots is $14.99. Brad Bolin needs to pass on Cool and the Gang, so give that to Doc Smith. All right, we've got Steppenwolf for ladies only. James Gang Straight Shooter, white label promo. The Jewel of the Nile, $19.99. These are all still available. The Who Hooligans. Michael Jackson Thriller. Alice Cooper's Greatest Hits. Jay Giles Band. James Gang. Jethro Tull. Ace. Elton John. Joe Jackson. Queen. Elvis. And the Grassroots is sold to Patty. Let me know if you want that for full price. Who asked the price on that? Somebody. Wait a second. I got my. Patty asked how much. Patty, and then you made an offer. Anthony wants it. So, Patty, that's yours for $14.99. If you pass, then it's sold to Anthony Smith. David Eberly, next new comment on Alice Cooper. David, new comment on Alice Cooper. That's David Eberly. Steve had just sold. Patty said she'll take it at full price. So, Elvis, Queen, Joe Jackson, Elton John, Ace, Jethro Tull, James Gang, Jay Giles, Thriller, Hooligans, Jewel of the Nile, James Gang as Steppenwolf. And which Queen was that? That was A Night at the Opera, OG $34.99. Sell John Leal Journey for $30. Let me grab our next crate of new vintage stuff. Next crate of new vintage stuff. Will part 2 be viewing used bins in the back? Most likely. Yes, most likely. Let me go through a crate of new vinyl from up front, up here. Let me do that right quick. I actually can go back through, let me see what I've got right here. This is a mixed bin of new vinyl. Let me go through this. Just very quickly, I do have more new vintage arrivals. Sorry, I'm doing a teeter-totter here. I showed this already tonight. We have Rush, self-titled, $59.99, 180 gram. Actually, this may be 200 gram. I don't know. That was, of course, y'all remember all those confusing Rush titles. $59.99, but that is the box set rediscovered. I have in stock Slipknot, Iowa, 2LP green vinyl. Slipknot is $36.99 for Iowa. Collective Soul, Hints, Allegations, and Things Left Unsaid, $34.99. Of course, this has Shine and Breathe on it. That's a craft. Very good sounding record. Collective Soul, $34.99. The Wallflowers, 20th Anniversary, 2LP. The Wallflowers is $34.99, featuring the hit singles One Headlight, 6th Avenue Heartache, and The Difference. The Wallflowers, 2LP, that is Bringing Down the Horse, $34.99. Pete Weisgarber wants a Rush. That's sold to Pete. We got plenty of the Wallflowers in stock. John Lee Hooker, self-titled, $28.99 for John Lee Hooker. Twisted Sister, Donington, purple splatter vinyl, $33.99. Rush is 180 gram. Thank you, Marty. Fleetwood Mac Greatest Hits is $31.99. Fleetwood Mac Greatest Hits, $31.99. Genesis, Selling England by the Pound, Half-Speed Master. Genesis is $28.99. The Forrest Gump soundtrack, $36.99. Blackberry Smoke featuring Greg Allman, Like an Arrow, 2LP, $36.99. Dan Triaga wants a Fleetwood Mac Greatest Hits, and U2 Songs of Surrender. That is the opaque white vinyl indie exclusive, $49.99. So that was Slipknot, Collective Soul, The Wallflowers, John Lee Hooker, Twisted Sister, Genesis, Forrest Gump, Blackberry Smoke, and U2 Songs of Surrender, $49.99. All right, let's do that crate of new vintage arrivals. I don't know if I've looked through this one, so I probably, or have I? Yeah, this needed to be pulled though. We have up for auction, Scorpions, Love at First Sting. This has the original inner sleeve with it. The Scorpions is a $25 start. Love at First Sting. Love at First Sting. $25 start. Steve Henry wants BS. What did I just do with that crate? That was not Blackberry Smoke. Yep, sell that to Steve Henry. That was John Lee Hooker, self-titled. $25 start on the Scorpions. Let's go through this new bin of vintage. This one is an equally good crate as all the other ones we've had tonight. Great stuff in here. I don't really know when we're pausing or what we're going to do for part 2 or anything like that. So just stick with us. We're going to go through this one. Rebecca wants a Wallflowers. That's why I go through these, because you just never know. We've got a lot of new people on. I mean, we've had a record number of new customers already this week. A lot of them probably don't know we've got these great titles in stock. And we have Cat Stevens. Cat Stevens, A Pythagorean Theory Tale. Cat Stevens is $19.99. Cat Stevens Numbers. Really nice copy, Cat Stevens. Fleetwood Mac Mirage, $19.99. Fleetwood Mac Mirage. Billy Idol, Whiplash Smile, $26.99. Iggy Pop, blah, 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 $29.99. Bob Seger, 7. Here's one we don't get too often. $29.99. Bob Seger 7. Contrast. $29.99. Bob Seger 7. Bob Seger self-titled. That's a 1980 green label. $39.99. $39.99. We need to write down Blackberry Smoke. I'll need to restock, I think, their entire whatever I can get. John Leal, first on Billy Idol. Josie, you were second. Brad Bolin on Iggy Pop. Chris Kirkley, you're first to Bob Seger. Let me know if you want 7 or self-titled. Scorpions, Love at First Sting. We're looking for a $25 start. That's available. Another Bob Seger, Like a Rock. That is $29.99. Chris Kirkley wants Bob Seger 7. Grace Slick, Dreams, $19.99. And Simple Minds, Life in a Day, 1982 UK, $24.99. Scorpions is at $25 with Randy. Let me grab a crate of, or let me grab a new Japanese pressing. New Japanese pressing, we have Peter Frampton. I'm in you, with a hype sticker that says it's new. So probably an OG or first press. Peter Frampton, Japanese pressing of I'm in you. This is a $35 start. It is near mint and pristine. Peter Frampton, I'm in you. Has this Japanese 2-page flip with it. And a really nice cover. Hype sticker, Obi, Peter Frampton, $35 start. We got a $25, $25, and then a $26 bid on the Scorpions. Fleetwood Mac is $19.99. Fleetwood Mac is $19.99, Troy. The Smithereens, especially for you, in shrink wrap with hype sticker, $29.99. Steve Henry wants Simple Minds. That's sold to Steve Henry. Walk This Way, Run DMC, $29.99. That's the 12-inch single, $29.99. John Leal first on the Smithereens. Troy Robinson said sold on Fleetwood Mac Mirage. Josie on Run DMC. Rush Signals, $44.99. Has a little bit of writing right here. No condition notes on this though. Original inner sleeve, Rush Signals, $44.99. Josie said pass on Run DMC. Scorpions is at $27 with Randy. And Rush 2112. Back-to-back Rush, $49.99. 1981 keel press. 81 keel press on Rush 2112. Bruce Hornsby and The Range, The Way It Is, $24.99. Bruce Hornsby and The Range. Marty wants 2,112. That's sold to Marty Ellis. Billy Idol, Vital Idol in shrink wrap, $26.99. Vital Idol in shrink wrap. Marty says cancel 2112. 81. This was not be an OG. No, 81. This album originally came out 76. Not a first press. John Leal on Billy Idol. Eric Beck second. Kelly third. David Cordell fourth. Greetings from Tim Buck 3, $19.99. Tim Buck 3. Final call on the Scorpions. Randy's at $27. Going twice, going 3 times. The Fix, Calm Animals. $24.99 on The Fix, Calm Animals. ABBA, Arrival. ABBA is $19.99. Johnny Cash is Sealed. On Sun, The Singing Storyteller, Sealed, $19.99. Todd's at $30 on Scorpions. 2112 is $49.99. $49.99. Arm Lazelle on The Fix. Arm Lazelle on The Fix. Peter Gabriel, Melt, $34.99. Peter Gabriel, that is, I believe, his third solo album. Brian C., first to Tim Buck. That's sold to Brian C. He put Tom Buck, but he meant Tim Buck. The Kinks, Word of Mouth. The Kinks is $16.99 for Word of Mouth. Well, that's a nice copy of Cheech and Chong, Los Conchinos, $24.99. Todd's at 30 on the Scorpions. Randy's out, going once, going twice. Here at last, the Bee Gees Live, $24.99. The Bee Gees Live. T for the Tillerman, Cat Stevens, $14.99. What a very nice looking copy. Ron Duffield first to Cheech and Chong. Toby Grimm was second. Negotiations and Love Songs, Paul Simon, $39.99. That's a 2LP hits comp from Paul Simon. That's a great compilation of Paul Simon. Final call on the Scorpions. Another in shrink wrap, Iron Butterfly in Agata Davida. Original yellow label too, $19.99. Roger Ramjet's in on the Scorpions for $33. Eddie Pasir wants the Paul Simon. That's sold to Eddie. And the best of Dolly Parton. Did this one have the poster with it? I saw one in the back the other night that had the poster. $34.99. The best of Dolly Parton. $34.99. Very clean copy. Michael Nath wants Iron Butter. Sell that to Michael Nath. Scorpions is now at $35. Tanner, this is $34.99. It's sold to Brian Miller. David Cordell was second. David Tate third. Joe Sloop second on Iron Butterfly. Steve Henry third. The best of the Beach Boys, $14.99. Best of the Beach Boys, Capital Starline, $14.99. $14.99. Best of the Doobie Brothers in shrink wrap, $14.99. Rami Lou first to the Beach Boys. Scorpions is at $35. Roger Ramjet, let me know if you're in or out. Speaking of $35, we're going to go ahead and make that the buy it now price for Peter Frampton. If anybody wants the Peter Frampton for a $35 buy it now, you can buy it now, right now, for a $35 buy it now. That is sold to John Leal. Let me just get the package back assembled. That's sold to John Leal for a $35 buy it now. Roger's out on the Scorpions. Let's go ahead and sell that as well to Todd Tipton for $35. Those are both $35. Doc Holliday rides again. Gold stamp promo, Doc Holliday, $19.99. Let me get 2 new Japanese pressings from over here. Or I could pull something, an OG record out from a bin from a previous night and run it on auction. I think that's what I'm going to do. I've got a Prince, $19.99, and I've got a Stones. I'm going to put these both up for $25 starts. We have Prince, $19.99. Prince, $19.99. This is a 2LP Prince OG, $19.99. It's a 1982 specialty press, 82 specialty press, VG Plus condition, $25 start. Prince, VG Plus Prince. That is a $25 start. The Rolling Stones is a 1986 Goat Head Soup, 86 Goat Head Soup, near mint, like unplayed, with the original inner sleeve, as you can see. $25 start on that. There's 2 auctions, 25 on Stones, 25 on Prince. Chris Ferrara got the best of the Doobie Brothers. Doc Smith wants Doc Holliday. Wow. Doc Smith got Doc Holliday. 25 on Prince. We're looking for a $25 start on the Stones. Jerry Jeff, $19.99, has a promo sticker on the front. Jerry Jeff Walker. Jerry Jeff. Prince is not a gatefold. Not a gatefold. Grand Funk, Phoenix, $19.99. $19.99. He said no. Oh, I thought when he said Confederate vinyl, that's what you were claiming. Never mind. Jay Ferguson, Terms and Conditions, EX, $12.99. And Life's Hard and Then You Die, It's Immaterial. That is $14.99. Doc didn't want Doc. It's still available. And Flashdance soundtrack is $19.99. Flashdance soundtrack is $19.99. Elton John, Rock of the Westies, $19.99 for Elton John. And England Dan and John Ford Coley, Nights Are Forever, $9.99. James Bragg's at $27 on the Stones. Brian Miller's at $26 on Prince. Brad wants It's Immaterial. That's sold to Brad Bolin. Dr. Hook, Sloppy Seconds, $19.99. And Dire Straits Making Movies, $29.99. Really nice copy. Dire Straits Making Movies, $29.99. The Smithereens is $29.99. The Smithereens is $29.99. Original inner sleeve. That's sold to John Leal. I'm going to read through these titles one more time. Prince is at $26. The Rolling Stones is at $27. John Leal got the Smithereens. Craig was second. Michael was third. Josh was fourth. Marty was fifth. Josie's at $30 on the Stones. Joe Maynard, you were 6th or 7th on the Smithereens. We had 2 Smithereens albums in there. Those are both gone. Okay. Let's see. We got 2 auctions. Let me read through these titles one more time. Cat Stevens Numbers. This cover's known for being really beat up because it's a die cut. It's kind of like a die cut out cover. No damage on this one whatsoever. $19.99. Cat Stevens. Bob Seger System with Ramblin' Gamblin' Man. Some other great songs on there. That is really tough to find an OG. They're usually this reissue here. $39.99. James is at 33 on the Stones. Final call on Prince. Doc Smith, let me know if you're in or out on Prince. I need to know, please. Another Bob Seger. This is Like a Rock, $29.99. Gray Slick Dreams, $19.99 for Gray Slick Dreams. Walk This Way, Run DMC, $29.99 for Run DMC, $29.99. Rush Signals is still available. 1982 OG, $44.99. Subdivisions, very, very nice. Jeff McMaster wants Run DMC. Bruce Hornsby, fantastic album. Great song, The Way It Is. That's $24.99. Rush 2112. This is a 1981 Kill Press, $49.99. Rush 2112. 2 Rush albums in here, $49.99 on that one. ABBA Arrival is $19.99. And Johnny Cash, The Singing Storyteller, is sealed, $19.99. Okay, Prince is sold to Brad Miller for $26. Never did hear back from Doc on that one. The Rolling Stones is at $33. And yes, this is a reissue, but it must be a pretty desirable as far as the sound quality, because for what we had this originally stickered, I was kind of surprised, but it was not cheap what we originally had it priced, and it is near mint. James Bragg is at 33. Doc, did Doc bid again? Let me go grab. Brian Miller bid 26 on Prince. Yeah, Brian Miller bid 26 on. Brian bid 26 on this. I did a final call on it several times. I thought you had maybe passing or you had got off for a moment. But yeah, that's sold to Brian for 26. Fabulous Thunderbirds, hot number. Up for bid, Fabulous Thunderbirds. Doc, you got to turn up your volume. You're not being focused. The Fabulous Thunderbirds, hot number. I told y'all earlier, you got to buckle up like you're taking the ACT. You got to stay focused. You're going to miss something. Hot number, that is the Fabulous Thunderbird. $35 start. There's the Japanese insert. Has a piece of tape over here on it. This is very nice. Has a rental sticker. $35 start on that. Yeah, that sold for about half of what we originally had it stickered. That was a great deal. Josie's at 34 on the Stones. James Bragg's out. I'm really surprised no one's bought this. That is sealed Johnny Cash. Peter Gabriel is still available. Near mint copy, $34.99. The Kinks, Word of Mouth, $16.99. And we have Here at Last, Bee Gees Live, $24.99. Here at Last, Bee Gees Live, $24.99. Cindy Jones on KC. KC was King. Well, I'm not for sure what KC is. T for the Tillerman, Cat Stevens, $14.99. Jerry Jeff is $19.99. J Cash. So that's what I was thinking. Johnny Cash sold to Cindy Jones. We have Grand Funk Phoenix, $19.99. James Bragg is going to get the Peter Gabriel. Thank you. I feel better about the world now. Charlie's at 35 on Goat Head Soup. Josie, you're out. And we're also looking for a $35 start on Fabulous Thunderbirds. Doc Holliday rides again. Doc Holliday is $19.99. Jay Ferguson, Terms and Condition, EX, $12.99. Flashdance is $19.99. Elton John is $19.99. England Dan and John Ford Coley, $9.99. Dr. Hook, Sloppy Seconds, $19.99. And Dire Straits, Making Movies, $21.99. Looking for a huge deal on Rush Bundle. Not here. You're in the wrong place for any discounts on Rush albums. Jesse Hood got England, and this is the one. This was the Buddy Holly that was put back earlier, $19.99. Sean, I would love to sell those to you at full sticker. Josie, let me know if you're in or out on the Rolling Stones. Josie, let me know if you're in or out on the Rolling Stones. Josh Ragland said he'll take 2112. Let me make sure Floyd doesn't want it. That's Sean, since he just asked for a bundle deal. That kind of holds them in place. But if he passes, then Josh, that's so to you. Josie's back in on the Stones at 40. Charlie DeFrank, you're out. Final call if anybody wants to get a bid in on the Fabulous Thunderbirds before I make it a buy it now. And let's do a because I think everything left tonight could fit into, I don't know, maybe a crate or two. There's not a lot. Let me do some condensing, kind of clear up the crates, and then we'll see what we have left from tonight. If you're just getting on, we have killer records. I mean, these are fantastic. Let me figure out. There's the Eurythmics. Make sure nobody claimed that earlier. Let me do this in the order in which I originally shown them. Put these in here. What's down there? That's new vinyl. They need to go through the new vinyl one more time too, and probably another one of these crates over here. There's that bin. There's that. There's crate 1 of new vinyl left over. This is, I think, the order in which I did. I try to stack them so I can do it this way. There's these. So like the first record I show will be the first things left over from the crate, the first crate we went through. See what I'm doing here, Tanner? Genius, right? Yeah, so I just seen a Simple Minds record. I was like, how did that not sell the first time? There's the new vinyl that's left. Let me condense that down here. We'll go through that. And I guess that's it. I think I condensed the first couple crates already. Yep. Everything's in, well, it could probably almost fit into one crate. It could probably almost fit into one crate. All right, there's another one. All right, so Charlie's at 41 on the Stones. Charlie's at 41 on the Stones. Josie, let me know if you're in or out. Let's make Fabulous Thunderbirds a buy it now. Floyd passes on Rush, so that does for sure go to Josh Ragland. And that leaves Signals in that crate, which I'm kind of surprised. So, but I've sold everybody so many new copies. We've sold hundreds and hundreds of new Rush. I guess everybody's cool with those great sounding remasters, which we still have in stock. Josie's back in on the Stones at 45. We have Gordon Lightfoot, Don Quixote, VG Plus, $14.99. Gordon Lightfoot, that was a German pressing, has some tape on the cover. Creedence Clearwater Revival, Pendulum, EX, $32.99. The classic performances of 10 Years After, including I'm Going Home, VG Plus, $14.99. Patti Smith Group, Wave, EX, $29.99. Patti Smith Group, Easter, VG copy, $14.99. Brian Ferry is VG Plus, $14.99. Brian Ferry, VG Plus, $14.99. Another time, another place. The Fabulous Thunderbirds is a $35 buy it now. $35 buy it now on that. Charlie DeFrank, you're out on the Stones. Y'all are almost at sticker price on this one. Y'all are almost at sticker price. Yeah, the Prince album was Tonight's Steal. That was Tonight's Steal. Rick Springfield, Living in Oz, $14.99. Alice Lowry said sold on the Fabulous Thunderbirds for $35. ELO, Out of the Blue, 2 LP for Electric Light Orchestra, VG Plus, $24.99. Charlie's back in on the Stones at $47. Jefferson Starship, Gold, VG Plus, $12.99 on Jefferson Starship. Vanilla Fudge, The Beat Goes On, VG Plus, $14.99. The Buckinghams, In One Ear and Gone Tomorrow, VG Plus, $9.99. The Doobie Brothers, Taking It to the Streets, EX. EX is $12.99. And Simple Minds, Sparkle in the Rain, EX copy, $22.99. Sparkle in the Rain. Josie, you're back out on the Stones. Just let me know if you're in or out. I'm going to go ahead and grab another Japanese pressing, which is Duran Duran and John Cougar Mellencamp. I'm going to go ahead and get 2 more rolling. We have John Cougar Mellencamp, which is a Japanese pressing, near mint and pristine. Very, very nice John Cougar Mellencamp. Pink houses. The vinyl is immaculate. That's a $35 start. It has a Japanese insert with it. Cover and obi, also near mint. $35 start on that. Josie's out on Rolling Stones, so that's sold to Charlie DeFrank for $47. Charlie got that for $47, and that makes room for Duran Duran Carnival. This is a, I believe, what do we have here? Is this a single? You have Carnival, And then Hungry Like the Wolf, New Religion, Rio, Hold Back the Rain, and My Own Way. Rio Part 2. So it's 5 tracks. Duran Duran, that's also a $35 start. Carnival, Japanese Press. All right. Alice got Fabulous Thunderbirds. Charlie and Frank got the Stones. Paul Beal on Simple Minds. Kelly was second. Elton John, Your Songs. Your Songs, Tiny Dancer, Take Me to the Pilot, Candle in the Wind, Razor Face. That is $19.99. Howard Jones, One to One. Howard Jones is sealed, $34.99. Howard Jones is sealed, $34.99. Randy Newman, self-titled, $19.99. Don't Call Us, We'll Call You. Sugar Loaf, that's in shrink wrap, $24.99. Randy Scarborough, first to Elton John. Looking for $35 start on those auctions. John Cougar Mellencamp and Duran Duran. The other side of the Hollies is a 78 UK press, $19.99. And the Hollies Stop, 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 which is a UK reissue of one of their albums, $19.99. Brian is in on JCM for $35. John Mellencamp's at $35 with Brian Miller. The Dolly album that's surprisingly still available, Great Balls of Fire, that is $24.99. Alan Parsons Project, I, Robot. It is pristine. $19.99 on Alan Parsons Project, I, Robot. $19.99 on that. Howard Jones, Humans Live, $24.99 on Howard Jones. Bob Seger, Stranger in Town. Stranger in Town, very nice copy, $29.99. Todd Rundgren, Something, Anything, $29.99 on Todd. Both auctions have bids. They're now at a final call, $35 and $35. I'm about to sell both of them. Frampton Comes Alive. No ring wear on the cover. I mean, just a hint right here. Things usually beat. $29.99. Frampton Comes Alive. Beautiful copy of that album. $29.99. Berlin, Love Life, $14.99. Alan Freed's Memory Lane. This is a compilation. Early stuff here. $14.99. John Lills at $36 on Duran Duran. ABBA's Greatest Hits Volume 2, $19.99. We got another bid on John Cougar. That's now at $36. Timmy Euro, What's a Matter Baby? That's an album on the Liberty label, $14.99. Billy Joel, I think this is the only Billy Joel that hadn't sold tonight, and it's a very nice copy. Songs in the Attic, $14.99. Brian Ferry is $19.99. Boys and Girls, Brian Ferry is $19.99. Country Music Hall of Fame, Patsy Cline, $19.99. Josie Wells on the Billy Joel, that's sold to Josie. Graham Nash, Innocent Eyes, $14.99 for Graham Nash. Innocent Eyes, $14.99. Cheek is $14.99. Risque, that's $14.99. Beach Boys is $29.99. Brian, let me know if you're in or out on John Mellencamp. And Kelly and Romilu, you're both out on Duran Duran. No, Kelly, you're out on Duran Duran. So please, y'all let me know if you want to bid again on those. Brian says he's in 37. Kelly's out. And Kelly bid on Duran Duran. So John has that for 37. John Leal. And then Brian Miller has this one for 37. Patti Smith, Dream of Life, 1988 German press, $34.99. Bruce Hornsby and the Range, A Night on the Town, $24.99. And Sly and the Family Stone, $64.99. $64.99. That's a 71 Terre Haute press. Very nice. Romilu's at 40. So we got multiple bidders on this. I'm about to sell Duran Duran. Anybody else on anything in that bin? Final call. All right, I'm going to go through some new vinyl. I think we got a couple, not from tonight, but maybe from previous nights. See, we got several new people on. I think this is a lot of the same artist, but I need to go through them regardless because I'm about to put them in alphabetical order, and they won't be around here much longer anymore. First thing I have is Black Sabbath. I still got these in stock. $36.99. Black Sabbath is on purple and black splatter vinyl. Purple and black splatter vinyl. $36.99. $36.99. ELO, Starship, and Cat Stevens bundle. Let's see. ELO, Cat Stevens. Now, Starship. Now, ELO. Was there a Cat Stevens in here? Let's see here. There's Starship and ELO. Are you talking about, can you let me know which Cat Stevens album? Because I think there's a couple. John Cougar Mellencamp is sold to Romelu for $40. That's sold to Romelu for $40. Well, hold on a second. No, we wasn't done. Wait a minute. Well, time out on other auctions. Brian Miller was at 37. Romelu bid 40. Brian Miller is going to let us know if he's in or out. Romelu has that for 40. I was about to sell Duran, but John Leal said he needs to retract his bid. So he's going to have to pass on that, which means we need to kind of restart and make sure Kelly still wants it for 35. Kelly, if you want this, bid 35 again, and then we'll do another final call on that. Brian Miller's back in at 41 on John Cougar Mellencamp. Brittany said T for the Tillman. Okay, I think that was in the other crate. Let me leave these right here, and then I'll let you know. Black Sabbath was $36.99. I have Savatage, The Wake of Magellan, $56.99. Savatage, Wake of Magellan. This is on orange vinyl, 2 LP, with 12-page booklet, lenticular cover. Looks like the ship is moving. $56.99. Black Sabbath, Savatage, Physical Graffiti, Led Zeppelin, amazing stuff here. 2 LP, Physical Graffiti, $44.99. Judas Priest, Point of Entry. Judas Priest is $28.99. Santana, Supernatural, $36.99. Santana, this has Smooth with Rob Thomas, $36.99. Promise, The Desaturating 7. Promise is on rainbow splatter colored vinyl. Promise is $29.99. Rainbow splatter colored vinyl. Enough's Enough, self-titled. That's on green or purple vinyl. It's either on green or purple. $44.99 for Enough's Enough, self-titled. And the Misfits, Earth AD, $28.99. Okay, go ahead and sell Duran to Kelly for $35. John Mellencamp is at 42 with Romelu. Brian Miller, you're out. Let me know if you're in or out. You're out right now, but let me know if you're out, or if you're back in. Led Zeppelin 1, remaster, new and sealed, $31.99 for Led Zeppelin. If you don't have a copy of that in your collection, you're a disappointment to me. Creed, My Own Prison. Creed is $31.99. Fantastic sounding craft recording. Mickey Rat, pink and black splatter vinyl. Mickey Rat is $33.99. And Warrant Cherry Pie. Warrant Cherry Pie, $44.99. Brian Miller's back in on John Cougar for $45. Romelu, let me know if you're in or out. Was there an RL pressing of Physical Graffiti? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. There is of 2 and House of the Holy. That's the only 2 I know of. Romelu's back in at 47. So this crate had Black Sabbath, Savatage, Physical Graffiti, Judas Priest, Santana, Primus, Enough's Enough, Misfits, Led Zeppelin 1 was $31.99, Creed was $31.99, and Warrant Josie is $44.99. Brian, you're back out on John Cougar Mellencamp. Led Zeppelin, what was the price? Michael, do you want Led Zeppelin 1 or Physical Graffiti? Physical was $44.99. Led Zeppelin 1 was $31.99. Do you have any Pink Floyd? Yes. I have almost all of them. Let me know which one you're looking for. Brian Miller said out, so we're going to sell John Cougar Mellencamp to Romelu for $47. Is that Mickey Rat just doing Piercy? We're doing Rat songs with like Dawkins did. Yes, that's what this is. That's what this is. And then we'll see if Josie wants a Warrant. Josie, this is one of our best. This is one of our all-time biggest selling albums here, Cherry Pie. The Judas Priest was Point of Entry. Point of Entry, $28.99. $28.99. Currently in stock, we have Led Zeppelin 1, Led Zeppelin 2, Led Zeppelin 3, House of the Holy, Physical Graffiti. I don't think we have Presents. We don't have any more Song Remains the Same box sets. We have Mothership, and we have In Through the Outdoor, and we have Coda. And John Cougar is sold. We're caught up there. Anybody else in that crate? Let me try to find that Cat Stevens. I got one more vintage bin here of the stuff from tonight. Let me move that there. Move that here. And we're looking for that Cat Stevens numbers for Brittany. Here is the vintage from the other about 4 bins of vintage condensed into one from tonight. Fleetwood Mac, The Guess Who, Ray Charles, The Tubes, Elton John, Tangerine Dream, Lionel Richie, Steppenwolf 7, Steve Martin, The Beach Boys comp, Joe Walsh, Graham Nash, David Crosby, Joe Cocker, Ray Charles, Till Tuesday, Suzanne Vega, the Bellamy Brothers, the Eurythmics, Steppenwolf, James Gang, Jewel the Nile, The Who, Thriller, Jay Giles, James Gang, Jethro Tull, Ace was sealed, Elton John, Joe Jackson, Queen still available, Elvis still available, and then there's Cat Stevens. And Brittany, all 3 of these, I'll do 20, 10 is 30, and 15 is $45. $45 for those 3, Brittany Bragg. We had another Bob Seger, Gray Slick, Rush, Signals. Roger Ramjet wants the Who Hooligans. That was $29.99 for the Who Hooligans. That's sold to Roger Ramjet. Rush, Bruce Hornsby, ABBA, the Kinks, the Bee Gees, Cat Stevens. Oh, my bad. I grabbed the wrong Cat Stevens, I think. She wanted T for the Tillerman. I grabbed this one here. So swap that one with that one. I think they were the same price. And then there's his Hooligans. Rush, price, and condition. No condition notes. $44.99, 1982 OG. Has a little bit of writing on the cover. That is $44.99. $44.99. Josie Wells wants the Elvis, the Legend. And Brittany, I've got the right Cat Stevens pulled for you now. Sorry about that. That was all 3 for $45 if you want to do that deal. Do you have any other Primus albums? Yes, I maybe have a couple more scattered. And I just ordered more. I ordered more earlier this week. They'll be here tomorrow or Friday, or tomorrow or Thursday. Bruce Hornsby was $24.99. The Jay Giles was Freeze Frame. Ace is called No Strings. It's sealed, $14.99. And Jay Giles Freeze Frame, $19.99. James Gang Bundle. Let's see here. We have James Gang. We have Passing Through, which was a white label promo. And we have Straight Shooter, which was a white label promo. And I think that was it. We have the 2 very nice white label promos. James Bragg, I'll do $45 for both of them. And these are near mint white label promos. Does Cat have the illustrated book? You're probably talking about Pythagorean Theorem, right? Which I put back in here. Let's see here. It certainly feels like it. Here's what Cat Stevens looks like. It has this book with it. It's like a storybook. Has this original inner sleeve. And then this die-cut cover, which I don't think this piece comes out. No, this piece, well, or is it? I guess it can slide out. Nope. I think you can put, maybe it's made where you can slide something else down in there. That's a very nice copy because all this right here is usually dinged and beat up. $19.99. Jethro Tull was Benefit. Yes. Jethro Tull was Benefit. $19.99. Very nice. James, these were both $45 to James Bragg. And Jerry Jeff, Grand Funk, Doc Holliday, Jay Ferguson, Flashdance, Elton John, Dr. Hook, Dire Straits, and the great Buddy Holly. So here's what we're going to do. If there's anybody else interested in here, first we're going to pull Jethro Tull to Jeff McMaster. Everything left tonight in vintage can fit into about 1 crate. Also, Jeff, earlier you asked about Sly. I forgot to show you that. Sly was really nice. There's a riot going on. It has 1 hairline that kind of runs right here. That's on side 1. Side 2 has no marks. Yellow Epic label. That's a 71 OG. Very, very nice. That's called Jerry Jeff. It's called Jerry Jeff Walker. That was $64.99. Cat Stevens, I'm going to put it back together very nicely. That's $19.99. What we're going to do there in part 2, I've got some probably discount records I can bring up, or we'll go to the back, or I'll bring them up here, one of the two. And then I've got some books we priced, some from that South Carolina, and then we can do CDs. So that could be a nice agenda for part 2. On sale records, CDs, and books. That's what I plan on doing for part 2. And we'll be back in about 30 minutes. We'll be back in about 30 minutes or so. I don't know if I'm going to eat or not. I've got to make a very important decision. I need to go to Walmart and buy those packets of blue energy thingies before they sell out. So let me go do that. See everybody in 30 minutes. Come back and find us. We'll be here. We'll be back from 10:30, and we'll probably go to midnight. We'll be going through a lot of good stuff, especially the books and CDs. Those are all new stuff from collections. And, of course, discount records, and we'll continue to do auctions. Thank you, and see you in a little bit over 30.